My white Moonlight female deskmate is too sweet. Because of an accident, Qin Yue traveled through time and became a poor high school student in a parallel world, with a stunning appearance. He also has a childhood sweetheart who is a goddess at the same table. Ding, congratulations to their host for awakening the all-round academic master system. Study mathematics, points +1, study Chinese, points +1. Chapter 1, the all-round scholar system. Early in the morning, Class 7 at Subei High School. The sunlight shone through the window and illuminated the classroom. YXX, WH Gozi, Shudao ZH Nan. Zui LTODNG Kanjian, Menghui. At 8 a.m., the sound of loud and clear reading echoed through the teaching building of Subei High School. Almost every school in China has morning reading sessions. It's a tradition in all of China's high schools. A high school without morning reading is a complete high school. Qin Yue slumped over his desk, listening to the noisy reading voices, and couldn't help but frown. Feeling irritated, he slowly lifted his head. However, what he saw in front of him instantly left him stunned. Class morning reading? Damn, where am I? Qin Yue stared blankly at the scene before him, unable to calm his heart. How the hell did I end up in a classroom with unfamiliar classmates surrounding me? On the blackboard, big red characters read, College Entrance Exam Countdown, 300 days. Suddenly, his mind shook, and a flood of memories rushed in. He remembered last night, Qin Yue and a few friends had been drinking, stumbling their way back home. And then, an out-of-control truck came barreling toward him. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself in this world. This was a world parallel to his previous life on Earth. In this world, everything was almost the same as the Earth he knew. The knowledge students learned didn't differ much either. The high school Qin Yue attended was Subei City's first high school, known for its top-tier college entrance rates in the entire city. Every year, 15 to 16 students managed to get into top universities like Tsinghua and Beida. But none of this had anything to do with Qin Yue. Because he was a bona fide academic failure. For a 150-point exam, Qin Yue would be lucky to score 60 points, and that would count as an extraordinary performance. To put it bluntly, aside from his good looks, Qin Yue had no other redeeming qualities. Although Subei High didn't have a school heartthrob ranking, Qin Yue was universally recognized as the school's #1 heartthrob. At 1.85 meters tall, muscular with faint six-pack abs, his face was sculpted, with sharp brows and piercing eyes. Even the male protagonists on TV would have a hard time matching up to him. Over the past couple of years, Qin Yue had received no fewer than 1,000 love letters on average, 2 or 3 a day. Beep. The system is recovering energy. Energy recovery complete. Host, Qin Yue. Height, 185 centimeters. Physical fitness, 90. Attractiveness, 97. Skills. Chinese level 1, 0500. Mathematics level 1, 0500. English level 1, 0500. Physics level 1, 0500. Chemistry level 1, 0500. Biology level 1, 0500. Cooking level 1, 0500. Basketball level 1, 0500 inch. Points, 0. Seeing the glowing screen appear before his eyes, Qin Yue jumped in shock. Is this the legendary system? Beep. Congratulations, host, the all-round scholar system has been activated. This system will assist the host in becoming an all-round scholar. Hiss, wow, an all-round scholar. Qin Yue widened his eyes, staring intently at the data on the screen. Each skill has levels from 1 to 7. To level up your skills, you can use points. Points are earned through daily study, exam rankings, or tasks assigned by the system. Beep. Congratulations, host, you've received a beginner's gift pack. Would you like to claim it? Claim it. Without hesitation, Qin Yue thought to himself. Beep. Congratulations, host, you've gained +2 attractiveness and +500 points. In an instant, Qin Yue felt something different about his body. It was an indescribable sensation, but it was undeniable. It felt as though his entire aura had subtly changed. As Qin Yue was thinking about this, he suddenly felt a poke on his arm. He immediately snapped back to reality, and when he looked up, he saw a beautiful face. The girl before him had long, dark hair. Though she wore the ordinary school uniform, it couldn't hide her stunning beauty. Her beauty could only be described by the phrases "so beautiful it eclipses the moon and the flowers" and "a face that could make the fish sink and the birds fall." Even the female celebrities from his past life paled in comparison. 2 words, pure beauty. "Hey, Qin Yue, are you okay? You've been out of it all morning. Are you sick?" Yanran looked at Qin Yue with concern. She had noticed his pale face and distracted demeanor all morning and thought he might be unwell. Qin Yue froze for a moment. He knew this girl very well. Yanran. They had grown up together. Their fathers were lifelong friends, and after both of them got into college, they ended up in the same city. They had been very close since childhood. They were classmates for a solid 12 years, from elementary school to high school. They walked to school together every day and knew each other like the back of their hands. But Qin Yue was usually busy with online games, so he and Yanran usually referred to each other as bro. Most importantly, Yanran was the absolute star at Subei High. For 3 years in high school, she was the top student in the grade, and with her breathtaking beauty, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that her admirers could form a battalion. Qin Yue smiled slightly, teasing her. "Hey, dear Yanran, you've been staring at me all morning. Could it be that you've fallen for me?" Yanran's eyes widened, and her face turned bright red, speechless for a moment. What? Go die. Who would fall for you?" Yanran blushed and gave Qin Yue a small punch. Qin Yue grinned, leaning in, and carefully scrutinized her face. He suddenly smiled widely. "Oh? Then why is your face so red?" "TSK, TSK, TSK." Qin Yue touched his chin, smiling like a mischievous rogue. I'm just sunburned. Why do you care?" Yanran pushed Qin Yue away, but after glancing at his face, her blush deepened even more. Why does it feel like Qin Yue looks even more handsome now? Every little smile made Yanran's heart flutter. Oh my god, this damn bad boy has got his charm down to a T. Yanran suddenly froze, and strange thoughts started to appear in her mind. Seeing this, Qin Yue smiled faintly, leaned close to her ear, and whispered softly. "Hey, stop staring, the teacher's here." The warm breath from Qin Yue made Yanran feel a little dizzy. But as a good student, when she heard "teacher," she quickly snapped back to reality. She quickly turned her head, pretending nothing happened, and glanced at the podium. "Teacher? What teacher? You lied to me, Qin Yue." Yanran clenched her small fist, glaring at him with murderous intent. "This damn guy dared to lie to me. His guts are getting bigger. He is asking for trouble." Seeing Yanran's angry face, Qin Yue immediately burst into laughter. He, Yanran, you're hilarious. Childhood sweethearts, teasing them is just so much fun." But soon, Qin Yue experienced what joy turning to sorrow really meant. "Damn, Yanran, why the hell are you pinching me?" A deep purple mark appeared on Qin Yue's arm, making him wince in pain. "HMPH, stupid Qin Yue, next time you dare lie to me, I'll pinch you harder." Yanran proudly raised her head, her expression one of triumphant vengeance. Okay, I admit it, I won't do it again next time. Chapter 2, Studying? After the morning reading session, Yanran rested her head on the desk. The sunlight outside shone on her exquisite face, as if bathed in holy light. She was simply stunning, so beautiful it was almost unreal. Qin Yue smiled as he looked at her face, finding himself momentarily lost in admiration. Flashes of moments spent with Yanran came rushing through his mind, as if he had lived through them again. He gazed at her sleeping figure, and in that moment, he made a decision: such a wonderful girl, he should spend his life cherishing her. But, given Yanran's academic abilities, she was surely destined for a top-tier university like Qingbei. As for Qin Yue, to be honest, if he continued with his current grades, forget Qingbei, even getting into a regular undergraduate program would be a stretch. At least we should end up at the same school, he thought. He shifted his gaze back to his math book, his resolve strengthening. Thankfully, he had the system, and it was not too late to turn things around. Set theory is subsets, proper subsets. Congratulations, host has learned mathematics, points +1. Congratulations, host has learned mathematics, points +1. Congratulations, host has learned mathematics, points +1. Qin Yue's eyes continued to scan the math textbook, and instead of feeling tired, he became more and more excited. In his mind, his points were constantly increasing, which gave him a sense of hope. He was learning more fervently, his brain racing with new information. 20 minutes later. Yan Ran sleepily sat up from her desk, about to stretch when her eyes suddenly caught sight of Qin Yue studying. Her mouth fell open in disbelief. Staring at him, she stammered. No, no way. I must be seeing things. Qin Yue, you're actually studying. My God, this is impossible. Yan Ran had known Qin Yue for over 10 years, but this was the first time she had seen him so serious about studying. This guy, who relied solely on his looks and not his academics, was actually studying now. Oh my God. She rubbed her eyes, still not believing what she saw. Meanwhile, the chubby boy sitting in front of Qin Yue, wearing a yellow jacket, turned around sharply. He stared at Qin Yue's math book, then at Qin Yue, who was studying seriously, swallowing hard. No, no way, Uge, you've actually started studying. The boy in the yellow jacket was named Xue Xiaoyang, the second to last in class, only slightly better than Qin Yue in academics. When he saw Qin Yue suddenly start studying, Xue Xiaoyang panicked a little. If the last in the class was starting to study, what about him, the second to last? He felt a subtle sense of crisis rising in him. This was something that could never have happened before. Qin Yue shot him a glance. I've decided to turn over a new leaf. Is that a problem? Turning over a new leaf, Qin Yue? Are you kidding? Xue Xiaoyang and Yan Ran exchanged a glance, both feeling that something strange was happening this morning. Qin Yue gave them an exaggerated look of disdain. Yan Ran, Xue Xiaoyang, could you please not disturb a serious student? A serious student? Xue Xiaoyang almost burst out laughing. A student who skips class to play video games and surf the net is a serious student. Got it, got it. Xue Xiaoyang gave Qin Yue an I get it look and cheerfully said. Don't worry, Uge, I got it. After school, it's at the same place at the internet cafe, right? Yan Ran shot him a warning look and said sharply. Xue Xiaoyang, you can go, but don't lead Qin Yue astray. If you do, I'll tell the teacher you're going to the internet cafe. Oh. Xue Xiaoyang was utterly bewildered. What? This was a trap. Every time, it was Uge who took him there. But now, the situation had changed, and he dared not argue. Qin Yue let out a helpless smile, shaking his head as he lowered his head back to the math book. Qin Yue, someone is looking for you outside. Just as Qin Yue was engrossed in his book, Xiaolan walked over to him. Qin Yue was puzzled, put down his book, and turned his head to ask. Who's looking for me? Before he could get an answer, a fashionably dressed girl, about 165 centimeters tall, walked into the room. She looked a little soft and cute. The girl wore a sweet floral dress, had a delicate face, and bright red lipstick. She looked like a picture-perfect, girly girl. Mo Yuton saw Qin Yue and her eyes immediately sparkled, as if she had found her treasure. She grinned and trotted over to him. Qin Yue, I came to find you. Mo Yuton. Qin Yue was confused, trying to confirm her identity with the memories in his mind. She was from class 3 of the second year, Mo Yuton, a junior of his. Although she wasn't as stunningly beautiful as Yan Ran, she was definitely a little beauty. If Yan Ran had a gentle, elegant personality, then Mo Yuton was completely the opposite, a cute, mischievous little girl. And on top of that, she was both rich and beautiful. Qin Yue didn't know much about her family background, but he had heard some things from classmates. Mo Yuton's family was one of the most influential in Subei City. Her father was a big-time local businessman, but Qin Yue never bothered to ask for more details. However, it was common knowledge that her family's driver sometimes picked her up in a luxury car worth millions, with a license plate number consisting of 5 fives. This had sparked endless speculation among many students. At Subei's best high school, there were plenty of wealthy students, but they still couldn't compare to Mo Yuton. Moreover, her looks made her one of the most sought-after girls in the school, with more suitors than Yan Ran. For some reason, though, despite so many people chasing her, Mo Yuton seemed to have taken a liking to Qin Yue. Ever since that sports event in her second year, she had been pursuing him, trying various ways to get close to him, sending him food, drinks, anything she could think of. But Qin Yue always seemed uninterested and kept his distance. Why? Because playing video games was much more fun. Romance? Forget it. Mo Yutong, what brings you here? Mo Yutong smiled mischievously and pulled out a box of tea from her bag. Qin Yue, this is some tea someone gave my dad. It's really precious, they say it's about 6,000 or 7,000 per ounce. I know you like tea, so I brought it for you. Try it. What? 6,000 or 7,000 per ounce. This box probably weighs at least 1 to 2 pounds, so this must be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Damn. Qin Yue's lips twitched. This girl truly was a wealthy little princess who was completely oblivious to the ordinary world. Chapter 3, Youthful Ignorance of the Wealthy Woman. Tea worth hundreds of thousands per box. Qin Yue had never actually had the chance to taste it. He didn't dare to, either. It was just too extravagant. Mo Jr., this is too expensive, I really can't accept it. You should take it back. But Mo Yutong didn't take it seriously. She pouted and said sweetly, Qin Yue Sr., this is only a few 100,000, it's not that expensive. It's just a token of my feelings for you. Please don't reject it, okay? Wow. Their conversation certainly didn't escape the attention of the others in the class. When they heard Mo Yutong's words, everyone was shocked. A few 100,000 is not expensive? Am I dreaming? Heavens, Mo Yutong is practically a rich woman. My God, I may never be able to afford tea like that in my lifetime. When you're young, you don't realize how lucky you are to meet a wealthy woman, and you treat her like a rare treasure. Everyone was stunned, thinking, something's off here. Qin Yue, too, was thrown off guard. He looked down and realized that the thing in his hands was worth over 100,000. TSK. Why did this suddenly feel so hot to the touch? No, Mo rich girl, Mo Jr., maybe our definitions of expensive are a bit different. For me, this is really too much. I can't accept it. And besides, I've actually quit drinking tea. I don't like it anymore. Mo Yutong immediately understood. She quickly replied. Then Qin Yue brother, what do you need? I'll bring it from home. Qin Yue, are you serious? Your family runs a department store or something. This girl was pure-hearted, and she was beautiful too. Under normal circumstances, her conditions would be considered great. But Qin Yue honestly had no feelings for her. His heart was completely set on Yanran. 2 boats. No. Of course not. I'm not a scumbag. Just as Qin Yue was about to reject her again, Yanran stepped in. She took the tea from Qin Yue's hands and gently placed it on the ground. Junior, we're going to study now. Please don't disturb us, thank you. Her calm, indifferent voice filled the air around them. However, Qin Yue could sense a faint trace of jealousy in the air. Mo Yutong furrowed her brow. She knew Yanran's name and was aware that she was Qin Yue's childhood friend. But Mo Yutong wasn't he afraid. If anything, she'd compete fairly. With a cold huff, Mo Yutong scoffed. Why are you interfering with me finding Qin Yue brother? What does it have to do with you? Qin Yue's business is my business. Yanran wasn't he about to back down either. The verbal exchange between them was filled with tension. The atmosphere was thick with it. Qin Yue, caught between them, silently endured the drama. He coughed twice, then stood next to Yanran and said, Actually, Mo Jr., last week, Anran and I made our relationship official. She's my girlfriend now, right, Anran? As he spoke, Qin Yue put his arm around Yanran's shoulder. Yes, we made it official last week. Yanran's face flushed red, but she couldn't contradict Qin Yue. She just went along with what he said. No way. Mo Yutong's heart sank. The Qin Yue brother she had longed for was now someone else's boyfriend. If it were anyone else, she wouldn't be worried. After all, they weren't as pretty or rich as she was. But if it was Yanran, she wasn't sure she could compete with her. In terms of looks, she was beautiful, but compared to Yanran, there was still a gap. Plus, Yanran's academic performance was far superior to her own, and she had such a close relationship with Qin Yue. No way. This can't be happening. Mo Yutong still couldn't believe it. How could they possibly be together already? However, Qin Yue suddenly leaned forward, gently holding Yanran's hand and intertwining their fingers. He then placed her head on his chest. See, I wasn't lying. With her head resting against Qin Yue's chest, Yan Ran could clearly hear his heartbeat. It felt like the entire world had frozen. Qin Yue had the looks and the physique. Lying against him, Yan Ran felt an unexpected sense of security. Yes, a feeling of safety. Qin Yue smiled gently and said, "So, I wasn't he lying? An Ran is now my girlfriend." At that moment, Mo Yutong was stunned. Could this be real? Did Qin Yue really become Yan Ran's boyfriend? Qin Yue gently explained. "Junior Mo, we really don't suit each other. I already have An Ran, so it's impossible between us." Mo Yutong's gaze instantly dimmed. So, I was the fool. She lowered her head, her large eyes shimmering with tears. Looking pitiful, she silently picked up the tea and walked out. The students in Class 7 of Grade 3 were all stunned by what they had just witnessed. Shui Xiaoyang, who was sitting nearby, swallowed nervously and sighed enviously. As expected, being handsome means you can do whatever you want, damn it. Qin Yue let out a long breath. Finally, he was rid of that awkwardness. He lowered his head and glanced at Yan Ran, who was still resting against his chest with a look of lingering affection. He gently ruffled her hair and said warmly, "Is this comfortable, Yan Ran?" Qin Yue's voice, rich with affection, made her feel unexpectedly warm and cozy. Millimeter tilde. Yan Ran replied without thinking, her words flowing directly from her heart. Of course, it was comfortable. But after saying that, she realized it was a bit inappropriate. Just as she was about to speak, Qin Yue lowered his head and softly whispered in her ear. "I'll tell you a secret." Millimeter, what? "The teacher will be here in 3 seconds. Get ready for battle." Huh? In an instant, Yan Ran snapped out of her reverie. Shit, the teacher's here. She quickly pushed Qin Yue away, looking around. Sure enough, the teacher was already at the door, about to walk in. As the obedient good girl she was, she couldn't show affection in front of the teacher. No, no, no. Showing affection. Not even close. She swiftly sat back in her seat, pulling off a 1-second seat-in move, and Qin Yue couldn't help but admire her. Maybe this was just how good students acted. Qin Yue saw her hurriedly sitting down, her face flushed. He couldn't help but smile as he leaned in close and whispered in her ear. "You did well just now. You really look like my girlfriend." Yan Ran clenched her little fist and gave him a glare. This guy was always taking advantage of her. If the teacher hadn't come, she would gladly hammered him one good time. Chapter for betting. The first class in the morning is mathematics. For Qin Yue, this was basically no different from listening to a book from heaven. Those mathematical formulas are like Morse code, they mean nothing when written down. Okay, students, let's review functions today. The math teacher of Class 7 Grade 3 is named Luo Guanghan. He is in his 40s, with a signature Mediterranean hairstyle, a black shirt and shorts. Very simple outfit. However, Qin Yue's foundation was too poor to understand, so he simply started flipping through the math book on his own. Congratulations to their host for studying mathematics, points +1. Congratulations to their host for studying mathematics, points +1. Qin Yue smiled. He could gain points by reading books. In this short class period, his points increased rapidly. It was so cool. However, at this moment, the air in the class suddenly froze. Luo Guanghan coughed, slapped the blackboard heavily, and stared in Qin Yue's direction with sharp eyes. "Qin Yue, stand up." Qin Yue was swimming in the ocean of knowledge. Hearing this, he was suddenly shocked. Looking up and seeing the furious Luo Guanghan, he slowly stood up and asked in confusion. "Teacher Luo, what's the matter?" Luo Guanghan said angrily. "You're not paying attention in class. What are you reading with your head down? What kind of book are you reading that can make you laugh?" Qin Yue was suddenly confused. I'm reading a math book." "Math book? I've been teaching for so many years, and I've never seen a student so happy reading a math book." "Qin Yue." I was speechless. Luo Guanghan snorted coldly. "Come up here, if you can write out the answer to this math problem, today's matter will be forgiven. If you can't, call your parents." Qin Yue said, "Oh," and was about to go up when Yan Ran suddenly and carefully handed over a small note and put it in Qin Yue's hand. She opened her lips slightly and whispered, "This is the answer I wrote. Be careful not to be discovered by the teacher." Qin Yue looked at the note in his hand, and the corners of his mouth curled up. This little girl really cares about herself. But he didn't need these things now, so Qin Yue shook his head, silently put the note back on Yi Anran's desk, and then walked up without hesitation. Yi Anran, who was sitting in his seat, widened his eyes with a look of disbelief. If this were normal, Qin Yue would have cried out of gratitude. This time, not only did he refuse, he also went up to solve the problem by himself. Could it be that he really thought he knew everything after just reading the math book for a few minutes? Level up your math. Ding, consume 500 points. Upgrade successful. Current properties. Host, Qin Yue. Height, 185 centimeters. Physical fitness, 90. Value, 99. Skills. Chinese level 10500. Mathematics level 201,000. English level 10500. Physics level 10500. Chemistry level 10500. Biology level 10500. Cooking level 10500. Basketball level 10500. Points, 322 inch. After Qin Yue finished upgrading, he had 322 points left. When he looked at the math problem on the blackboard again, everything seemed simple. The corners of his mouth curved up, and his handsome smile immediately attracted the attention of many girls in Class 7 of Grade 3. With a 99% appearance bonus, some girls are even drooling over it. Qin Yue picked up the white chalk on the desk and began to write on the blackboard. Quadratic functions, let's first discuss them by category. When a greater than 0, when a less than 0. Qin Yue solved the problem very quickly, without any thinking. This is a large question about quadratic functions, which requires a classification discussion. The complex process makes it easy to overlook small details. However, Qin Yue controlled all of this very well, using standard problem-solving methods and ideas without any mistakes. Moreover, Qin Yue's handwriting was very beautiful, just like printed text, and combined with the perfect steps to solve the problem, Luo Guanghan was stunned for a moment. Suddenly, Qin Yue turned around, threw the chalk into the box handsomely, and said with a smile, "Hey, Mr. Luo, is there anything wrong?" Wrong? Not only is it correct, but it is also very standard. Even if Luo Guanghan wanted to find fault, he couldn't find any faults. No one can find any mistakes in this answer. Luo Guanghan coughed and said a little embarrassedly, "Okay, no. No problem, go back. Remember, you still have to listen to the class even if you know it in the future." After Luo Guanghan finished speaking, the bell for the end of Get Out of Class suddenly rang. "Alright, that's it. Get out of class dismissed." After saying that, Luo Guanghan's face turned red and he quickly walked out of the classroom. In an instant, Class 7 of Grade 3 was in an uproar. "Har ha har ha, oh my god, I didn't expect Lao Luo to be defeated by Brother Yu. I am dying of laughter." That's right, you didn't see it. When Brother Yu was solving the problem just now, Lao Luo almost got corns in his eyes. "I am dying of laughter, Brother Yu is awesome." Qin Yue returned to his seat with a smile on his face. Yi Anran looked at him in disbelief and said, "Qin Yue, you hit it deeply enough." Qin Yue laughed. "Keep a low profile. We are very talented and can learn it just by looking at it." Yi Anran rolled his eyes at him. "Just blow it." At this time, Xue Xiaoyong turned his head with a sad face. "No way, Brother Yu, you really want to compete with your brothers for the second to last spot." If his father knew that he was ranked last, he would probably beat him to death. Qin Yue is like this, he is going to challenge him. Qin Yue smiled and said mysteriously, "Don't worry, I'm not interested in you. My goal for the next exam is to at least be in the top 10 in the class." Yi Anran snorted. He still didn't know Qin Yue's strength. Top 10 in the class, how is that possible? You should know that Subei No. 1 High School is a key high school, and the top 10 students in Class 7 of Grade 12 can generally be ranked in the top 100 in the grade. If you are in the top 100 in your grade, you can go to a top key university. Seeing that Yi Anran didn't believe it, Qin Yue came up to her and said softly with a smile, "Student Yi Anran, why don't you believe what I just said?" Yi Anran said confidently, "TSK, of course I don't believe you. If you rank in the top 10 in the class next time, I'll take your last name." Qin Yue immediately laughed like a pig and said, "You have my last name. I'm not your father. You don't have to use my last name. Since you don't believe me, let's make a bet. If I win, you give me a kiss." After Qin Yue finished speaking, Yan Ran's face suddenly turned red. Kiss him. Qin Yue, this scumbag, didn't even let himself go. Pooh. No. But why am I still looking forward to it? Bar, impossible. Then, what if you lose? Qin Yue smiled slightly. If I lose, then I'll take the loss and kiss you. Chapter 5 Return Home. In the evening, the afterglow of the setting sun enveloped the entire campus, and every corner of the campus was covered with a beautiful coat. The Subei No. 1 middle school where Qin Yue and his classmates were studying was a day school and there were no boarding students. The students in the classroom all left. Yan Ran packed his school bag, poked Qin Yue's arm, and said angrily, "Stinky Qin Yue, are you going or not? I'm telling you, if you don't go back with me today, I'll tell Aunt Lee that you went to the internet cafe." The two of them grew up in the same family compound, and the relationship between the two families was very close, so they always went home together after school. But before that, Qin Yue once left Yan Ran after school and took Xue Xiaoyang to the internet cafe to play games. Women, games are not as good as them. However, Yan Ran later complained to Qin Yue's mother. Qin Yue was beaten very badly that day, with his skin torn and flesh exposed. Thinking of that time, Qin Yue shuddered and felt a little scared. Hey, don't worry, I have changed my ways and will definitely not go to the internet cafe. Yan Ran nodded with satisfaction. Well, that's good enough. Let's go home. Okay. After Qin Yue packed his school bag, he walked out of the campus with Yan Ran. Not long after, the two of them arrived at the family compound. Qin Yue and his family lived in building number 9, and Yan Ran lived in building number 5, about a few dozen meters apart. Standing downstairs, Yan Ran smiled and revealed a pair of little fangs. Well, I'll go back first. See you tomorrow morning. Okay, see you tomorrow morning. Yan Ran looked at Qin Yue and always felt that there seemed to be something wrong with this guy today, which made people want to see more and more. This guy seems to be handsome again. When she thought of the scene of lying on Qin Yue's chest today, her cheeks became slightly hot again, and a faint blush appeared on her face. As if afraid that Qin Yue would notice something strange about him, Yan Ran turned around and ran upstairs without saying a word. Qin Yue didn't care. He waved his hand and watched Yan Ran go upstairs and leave. He turned around and walked towards his home. In my memory, my father Qin Guancheng was a wise and generous man. In his early years, he went to college in another province with Yan Ran's father. Later, he returned to northern Jiangsu and passed the civil service exam, working as a small section chief in a government department. He is usually easygoing and humble, does not seek promotion, and the only thing he cares about is his wife and children. Household matters are usually decided by Mother Li Xiaoli, and the father and son usually have a good understanding of each other. Boom boom boom. Here I come. Li Xiaoli wiped the oil off her hands with her apron, hurried out of the kitchen, strode to the door and opened it. When she saw Qin Yue, a gentle smile appeared on her face. "You kid, you forgot to take your keys again. Come in quickly. The meal is almost ready. You can eat when your dad comes back." "Oh, okay." Having said that, she turned around and went back to the kitchen to work. Qin Yue closed the door and walked in. Everything in front of him was very familiar. His home is about 110 square meters, with 3 bedrooms and a living room. It is located in an old residential area, but it is decorated very nicely and is very cozy. Returning to his room, Qin Yue lay slumped on the bed, constantly thinking about the system in his mind. Open the properties panel. Soon a screen of light appeared in front of him. Ding, opening. Host, Qin Yue. Height, 185 centimeters. Physical fitness, 90. Value, 99. Skills. Chinese level 10-500. Mathematics level 20-1000. English level 10-500. Physics level 10-500. Chemistry level 10-500. Biology level 10-500. Cooking level 10-500. Basketball level 10-500. Points, 654 inch. After studying for one day, Qin Yue's points had reached more than 600. If he continues at this rate, his performance will soon take off. I wonder if the system has any other functions. Qin Yue stared at the light screen with curiosity, like a child who had discovered a new world. He didn't know whether the system had other functions, but he definitely needed to explore them slowly. Qin Yue, your father is back, come and eat. Unconsciously, Qin Yue had been watching in bed for half an hour. He heard his mother calling him to eat in a trance. He jumped up and responded. Here I come. When he walked out of the room, he saw his mother, Li Xiaoli, serving soup to his father. When she saw Qin Yue coming over, she smiled and said, Go wash your hands and get ready for dinner. Qin Yue laughed. Okay, Mom, I'll be right there. After washing his hands, Qin Yue sat on the chair and prepared to eat. During the meal, Qin Guangqing suddenly put down his chopsticks and said, I heard from your teacher that you just got promoted to the 3rd year of high school recently. The pressure is very high. Many students are a little emotional. How are you doing? Are you adapting? Going from the 2nd year of high school to the 3rd year of high school can easily lead to psychological changes. This is also what Qin Guangqing is most worried about. He also knew Qin Yue's grades. He didn't like studying. Although it sometimes gave him a headache, he could only let him be. Qin Yue made an okay gesture and smiled. Don't worry, Dad. I will study hard. Well, that's good. Qin Guangqing nodded and said no more. After a while after dinner, Qin Yue took a shower and returned to his room. He lay on the bed, flipping through his phone. This world seemed no different from his previous life. There are well-known software such as Penguin, Douyin, and Taobao. However, there are some differences in the specific content. Just as he was flipping through his phone, Penguin suddenly received a message. Yanran, what are you doing? Seeing the message sent by Yanran, the corners of Qin Yue's mouth slightly raised. This little girl. He was originally preparing to reply while lying on the bed, but he changed his mind and deleted those words, then retyped a few words. Qin Yue, I'm thinking of you. On the other side, Yanran, who was lying on the bed, suddenly saw the message sent by Qin Yue. She immediately jumped up and her face began to turn red. Is this bastard trying to tease me? If any other boy dared to talk to her like this, Yanran would definitely delete him as a friend without saying a word. However, it was Qin Yue who sent this message. Not only was she not angry, but she felt some strange emotions. While Yanran was struggling with a struggle between conscience and desire in his little head, his cell phone rang again. Qin Yue, I feel like you're a little weird today. Yanran, what's strange? Qin Yue, strange, cute. Yanran, omega. This is confirmed. This guy is really good at flirting. Why do I feel a little amorous? No, you have to stay calm. Yanran took 2 deep breaths, and suddenly his cell phone vibrated. Beep, beep, beep. Qin Yue is initiating a video call. Do you want to accept it? Yes or no? Without any hesitation, Yanran nodded yes. Hello, why are you suddenly calling me on video? Yanran looked at Qin Yue lying on the bed and said with a pout. Qin Yue lay on the bed, looking at the beauty on the other end of the video, and said with a grin. I miss you. Yanran, TSK, men's words are deceiving. Qin Yue, hey, what I said is true. Have you finished your meal? Yanran, well, I'm done. My mom just made me some braised pork. It's so delicious. Qin Yue, I haven't eaten the braised pork made by Aunt Yu for a long time. I'll go to your house for a meal some other day. Aunt Yu probably misses me too. Yanran rolled his eyes. Har har, you think too much. Chapter 6, Flirting Without Shame. The two chatted for a while, and Yanran suddenly stood up and said. Hey, stinky Qin Yue, I'm going to take a shower. Qin Yue raised his eyebrows and said with a smirk. Okay, one piece. I'll rub your back for you. It doesn't matter if I get paid or not. I just want to help you. Yanran was stunned for 3 seconds, and then her face turned red instantly as if she thought of something strange. Help with back scrubbing? Money or no money doesn't matter. This bastard's thoughts are getting more and more dirty. Hartue, he is indeed a man. However, Yanran's mind slowly began to recall the feeling of lying in Qin Yue's arms today. The strong abdominal muscles seemed to give her a sense of security, and she was actually a little addicted to them. Wrong. How could I possibly be seduced by this bastard? She shook her head vigorously, not daring to think about those scenes anymore. Yanran held it in for a while, then said, "Roll." Then he quickly hung up the video call. After hanging up the phone, she took a few deep breaths, shook her head, and quickly ran to take a shower. I need to calm down. On the other side, Qin Yue was smiling happily. Did you see it? What is flirting? That's it. It's actually very simple to pick up girls. The most important thing is, be shameless. After tidying up for a while, it was almost 10 o'clock. Yanran took a full hour to take a shower. After all, girls take a long time to take a shower and also need to blow dry their hair. Yanran has very long hair. She is 1.7 meters tall, with long flowing hair, and looks very fairy-like. Not long after, Yanran sent a message to Qin Yue after drying her hair. I'm done, I'm ready for bed. Qin Yue, okay, I'm going to sleep too. See you tomorrow. Good night. As if thinking about seeing Qin Yue again tomorrow, Yanran's mouth corners slightly raised. Good night. See you tomorrow. The next morning, sunlight shone into Qin Yue's room through the glass. But he didn't stay in bed, instead he got up early. Perhaps because of his good physique and early bedtime, Qin Yue usually wasn't sleepy in the morning and was full of energy. He sat at the table, ate a fried egg and drank a glass of milk, then packed up and prepared to go downstairs. Mom, I'm going to school. Okay, be careful on the road. Li Xiaoli responded, then laughed as she watched Qin Yue running away. After going downstairs, Qin Yue ran straight to the bottom of Yanran's house. From a distance, I saw Yanran standing downstairs. Today, she was wearing a white short-sleeved top and black sweatpants. Although she was dressed simply, her temperament perfectly covered it all. The reason why the bright moon is bright is because of its own brightness. No matter how much the fireflies twist, they cannot compare with it. The breeze blew slightly, and her hair was slightly lifted. The summer wind was very warm. Safely. Qin Yue shouted from not far away. Yanran turned around instantly and saw Qin Yue. A smile broke out on his face, revealing a pair of fangs. When Yanran turned around, Qin Yue was stunned for a moment. If I have to describe it, I can only use a poem by Li Yannian. There is a beauty in the north, peerless and independent. One look from her can overwhelm the whole city, another look can overwhelm the whole country. Would you rather not know that she can overwhelm the whole city and the whole country? It is hard to find such a beauty again. Yes, it is so beautiful. Yanran walked over and saw Qin Yue, who was a little absent-minded. She put her hands on his face and pinched him. What are you thinking about so intently? Qin Yue came back to his senses and saw Yanran looking up at him. He looked at her seriously and said, I wonder why you are so beautiful. So you started flirting so early in the morning? Yanran's heart suddenly began to feel uneasy, and her little face even began to turn red. This damn man, how can he be so handsome and so good at flirting? I'm dying. Even though she had been with Qin Yue for more than 10 years, Yanran's heart was still not at peace at this moment. Oh, hurry up, or you'll be late. In order to hide her panic, Yanran turned her head away with a red face, and her steps couldn't help but quicken, putting some distance between herself and Qin Yue. This damn bastard, with such a handsome face and such a good flirt, how many girls will fall into his clutches in the future? No, I must stop him. As he walked, Yanran's thoughts began to wander. Yanran, wait for me. Qin Yue chuckled, then ran up and followed Yanran. The two of them walked like this and soon arrived at the school gate. Hello, Senior Qin Yue. Good morning, Senior. Isn't that Senior's sister Yanran? She's so beautiful. Oh my god, Senior is so handsome. When Qin Yue and Yanran walked to the school gate, they met many younger schoolmates who greeted them. Qin Yue responded with a smile one by one. Although Qin Yue did not attend the class this morning, he kept his head down reading, and his points increased rapidly. A full 100 points were gained in just one morning. At 12 o'clock in the morning, the bell rang for the end of get out of class. After the teacher said the get out of class was over, several figures suddenly rushed out from class 7 of grade 3. Get out of class is over, time to eat. Fuck it, it's time to eat. Wait for me. The corridors and stairs were instantly crowded with people. They are absolutely serious about eating. Yanran did not rush to run away, but stretched his waist, turned his face sideways and looked at Qin Yue silently. That handsome profile looked so cool under the sun. Yanran was stunned for a moment, her beautiful eyes staring at Qin Yue's profile, unable to extricate herself. Qin Yue was still reading seriously. After a while, he felt someone was staring at him, which made him feel a little creepy. Fuck, Yanran, why are you staring at me? Damn, you're drooling. Drooling? Yanran woke up suddenly and quickly wiped the corner of his mouth. There was indeed some unknown liquid. I must have been distracted when I was looking at Qin Yue just now and didn't pay attention. Damn. How embarrassing. If there was a crack in the ground at this moment, Yanran would definitely crawl into it without hesitation. Her pretty face immediately blushed, and she said quickly. This is not saliva, it's. I choked when I was drinking water just now. Yes, I choked when I was drinking water. The corners of Qin Yue's mouth slightly raised, and he forced himself not to laugh out loud. By the way, it's time for dinner, do you want to go eat? Yanran's eyes were dazed and he changed the subject. Qin Yue laughed and stood up. Let's go, it's getting late, let's go eat. Oh, by the way, my meal card is still with you, don't forget to take it. The two of them usually ate together, and Qin Yue always forgot to take his meal card, so in the end he just left it with Yanran. Oh. Yanran pouted, fumbled in her school bag for a while, and took out 2 meal cards. Chapter 7 Basketball Techniques. After lunch, everyone returned to class. Lunchtime is generally spent in the classroom. Most students would choose to take a nap on the table or continue studying. Ding-ling-ling. At 2:30, the bell for the first class in the afternoon rang, and Class 7 of Grade 3 suddenly seemed to come alive. Those who were doing their homework and sleeping all raised their heads. Because the first class this afternoon is physical education. Physical education class is the most favorite subject for high school students throughout the years. It carries the thoughts of countless high school students to survive once a week. Physical education class is a belief. Fortunately, although Subei No. 1 Middle School has strict management of studies, it is still very good in controlling activities such as physical education classes. After all, students cannot sit in the classroom to study all day long. They always need to go out to see the sun, run, and exercise. Otherwise, if you don't see the sun every day, you would have gotten sick long ago. Brother Yu, let's go play ball in the PE class. Qin Yue, who was reading a book, heard someone calling him. He was stunned for a moment, closed the book and looked up. It was Xue Xiaoyang. He was holding a gray basketball, wearing a pair of blue basketball shoes, and had a hairband tied on his chubby face. If you don't know, you would think he is a master. Actually, Xue Xiaoyang's beating could no longer be described as average. Such a dish. But maybe because he is not good at it, he loves it so much, Xue Xiaoyang would pull Qin Yue to play basketball every time during physical education class. They call it common progress, but in reality it is just a fight between weaklings. Although Qin Yue is 185 centimeters tall, his basketball skills are still a bit weak. Whether it's controlling the ball or dribbling, he's not skilled enough and can't even dribble across the entire court. Moreover, because he doesn't play often, his shooting percentage is not high. It's a good opportunity to play with Xue Xiaoyang. You go down first, I'll be right there. Qin Yue made an okay gesture and said that he would be there soon. Oh JBK, I'll go down first, come quickly. Good. After Qin Yue agreed, he turned his gaze to Yi and ran beside him. The girl was still studying physics questions, holding a thick grade 53 exercise book. A top student like Yanran, who is the best in the school, always loves to study. After taking a quick glance, Qin Yue said, "This 5-3 is really thick." Yanran nodded calmly, and then asked indifferently, "If you want it, I'll give you one in a few days." Qin Yue. He. I really want to thank you all. All right, stop studying. Class is almost starting. Go downstairs and go to physical education class. Hey, hello. Regardless of what Yanran thought, Qin Yue stood up and pulled her up. Studying is important, but health is more important. This is Qin Yue's idea. After all, health is the capital of revolution. However, Yanran did not see his actions that way. This bastard is really scheming in order to stop me from studying. What conspiracy does he have? Could it be that he wants to take the top position? It has to be said that after watching too many palace fighting dramas, Yanran has been brainwashed by conspiracy theories. Now, no matter how she looks at Qin Yue, she thinks that this bastard has a conspiracy, a big conspiracy. Ding ling ling. Physical education class started, and the students in class 7 lined up waiting for the physical education teacher to come to class. The physical education teacher's surname is Yang. He is a fat middle-aged man in his 40s or 50s. He is over 1.8 meters tall, very strong, with a square face. His fat but not greasy face is always filled with a smile. Of course, a few swear words are thrown out from time to time. As a physical education teacher, it's understandable. Okay students, this class is just like usual, we will jog 2 laps and then move freely, everyone please be safe. But they can only move around downstairs and cannot go upstairs to study. If I find any students going upstairs to study, I will make them take a physical education class tomorrow. After teacher Yang finished speaking, the audience burst into laughter. Some smart guys even started thinking about how to have a physical education class tomorrow. In fact, what teacher Yang did is very scientifically based. The human body needs regular exposure to the sun. If you study for a long time without basking in the sun downstairs, you will get sick sooner or later. Soon, the students in class 7 finished running 2 laps and then dispersed. Brother Yu, don't rest, go and occupy the venue. After saying that, Shui Xiaoyong ran to a basketball court with the basketball in his arms. The first basketball class in the afternoon is for classes 3 and 7 together. The space is quite limited, and if you go late, there will be no basketball hoops. Qin Yue smiled slightly and said to Yanran beside him, "Little Yanran, I'm going to go play basketball and work up a sweat, and I'll come find you later." Oh tilde. Yanran pouted and said, oh, her cute look was enough to melt anyone's heart. Qin Yue couldn't help it for a moment, and stretched out his hand to pinch Yanran's smooth face. Fortunately, no one else noticed. If someone else saw Qin Yue's actions, they might explode the next day. Hey, I'm leaving. Looking at Qin Yue's departing back, Yanran was left alone in confusion. This bastard. How dare you pinch my face? Humph, next time. Next time I'll let you have a taste of what it's like. On the other side, Qin Yue ran to the bottom of the basket. Shui Xiaoyong held the ball, his legs slightly bounced up, and his 2 hands held the ball in a 3:8 position. Jump ball, shoot, all done in one go. Wow, that's beautiful. Perfect 3-no stick. Qin Yue on the side was stunned. This technique was really amazing. He was able to stand under the basket without even touching the edge of the basket. This is really amazing. Seeing Qin Yue coming, Shui Xiaoyong scratched his head and passed the ball over with a smile. Brother Yu, come and practice with some of us. Good. He took the ball steadily. Qin Yue's ball skills were actually not that good. He didn't play much and his ball feeling was not good. But he was confident that no matter how bad he was still much better than Shui Xiaoyong. Of course, his height advantage is obvious during the game, coupled with his 6-pack abs and strong body, most people don't dare to go head-on with him. If his shooting skills were more accurate, he would definitely be the best choice to play inside. Qin Yue stood on the free throw line with both feet, took a shooting posture, held the ball with both hands, and then threw it. The ball drew a beautiful arc in the air. Then, 3 no sticks. What the hell? This is fucking outrageous. Such a perfect arc, but it didn't even hit the frame. It's outrageous. Qin Yue was confused. How could this be possible? I had grasped the angle perfectly just now, it was impossible for me to miss all 3 shots. Damn. Shui Xiaoyong burst out laughing. Brother Yu, when it comes to playing basketball, you are still the best. Qin Yue rolled his eyes at him and said unhappily. Go away, go away. Chapter 8 Provocation. Har ha har ha, Qin Yue, with this technique, are you trying to make me laugh to death? It's really rubbish. When Qin Yue finished shooting, he suddenly heard a sharp mocking voice. Qin Yue and Shui Xiaoyong turned their heads and saw a familiar figure. Class 3, Grade 3, Wangxiang. Wang Qiang is 180 centimeters tall and is a key player on the Subei No. 1 middle school basketball team. He is an excellent basketball player and is highly regarded by the school team coach. Although he is not good looking, there are many girls who like him. However, this guy has a special liking for Yi Anran. Because Qin Yue and Yi Anran were very close and went to and from school together every day, Wang Qiang didn't have a good impression of Qin Yue. In fact, his heart was filled with jealousy, and he would find fault with Qin Yue whenever he had the chance. Behind Wang Qiang were a few young men from class 3, two of whom had dyed yellow hair and looked unruly, with some malicious intent. Xue Xiaoyang snorted coldly while holding the ball. What does it have to do with you? You are just meddling in other people's business. If you feel any pain, go get treatment right away. You are such a fuss. Seeing his friend being ridiculed, Xue Xiaoyang couldn't stand it anymore. Can anyone bully Grandmaster Zhuan's brothers? Although he cannot beat the opponent, he has never lost to anyone when it comes to talking nonsense. Before Wang Qiang could say anything, the yellow-haired little brother behind him couldn't stand it anymore and immediately jumped out and cursed. You damn fat guy, do you want to be beaten? As he said this, he waved his fist and looked at Zhu Xiaoyang provocatively. Qin Yue frowned, took a step forward and stood in front of Xue Xiaoyang. With a height of 1.85 meters and 6 abdominal muscles, he was definitely full of strength. Fight? Har har, come and practice if you can. He is not a person who likes to cause trouble, but he is not afraid of trouble either. If trouble really comes, Qin Yue will definitely not be afraid. The boys from class 7 who were playing basketball nearby saw that something seemed to have happened to Qin Yue, and they put down their balls and walked over. Brother Yue, what happened? If you need help, please let me know. That's right. If these guys from class 3 dare to come and cause trouble, we won't be intimidated. That's right, Brother Yue has something to say, and we brothers will not hesitate. All of a sudden, more than 20 boys from class 7 gathered around and surrounded Wang Qiang and the other 6. The little yellow-haired boy who had just provoked him was instantly afraid to say a word. If he spoke again at this time, he would definitely be beaten. Qin Yue was too lazy to argue with him, and squinted his eyes and said coldly. Tell me, what do you guys want to do? I want to play a basketball game with you. I want to let Anran know that I am the best fit for her. Wang Qiang didn't hesitate and said it directly. There seemed to be a fire in his eyes, wanting to burn Qin Yue. Wow, Qin Yue understood as soon as he heard this. This guy regarded him as a love rival. Want to pursue Anran? Har har, no way. This is Qin Yue's chosen wife, how could he possibly give her up? However, he did not agree immediately, but asked. Har har, if you tell me to hit you, I'll hit you. That would be so embarrassing for me. Qin Yue looked at him as if he were a fool, his eyes full of disdain. This. Wang Qiang's enthusiasm seemed to be poured with a bucket of cold water. He had never considered that Qin Yue would refuse. How could he refuse? Let me put it this way. If I lose, I will avoid you next time I see you and never pick a fight with you again. But if you lose, you should stay away from Anran as soon as possible. Qin Yue sneered and shook his head. This is meaningless. How about this, let us add another item. The loser has to crawl around the teaching building twice, shouting I'm a loser. While crawling. How? Good. Wang Qiang also gave it his all. Today he came with the determination to die if he failed. Once the word is spoken. It's hard to catch up with him. Hey, don't. Xue Xiaoyang wanted to stop it, but it was too late. He knew Qin Yue's skills very well, and his basketball skills were almost the same as his. But Wang Qiang is a member of the school team, so his basketball skills are naturally impeccable. Isn't it obvious which one of them is stronger? Wang Qiang raised his mouth slightly and said quickly. Okay, in that case, I won't bully you. Let's play 3v3. You can pick any two people. Okay. Qin Yue agreed without hesitation. Xue Xiaoyang looked at Qin Yue with some concern and said. Brother Yue, why did you agree to compete with him? Wang Qiang is quite skilled. Why don't you choose me and we can kill everyone? Qin Yue. What the hell, don't you have any idea about your skills? And he's still killing people everywhere? Take you up there to be funny. Forget it, brother. I'll definitely do it next time. Qin Yue patted Xue Xiaoyang on the shoulder. He didn't dare to let this guy go on the court. Wouldn't that just make things more difficult for him for no reason? It was originally 3 against 3, but once Xue Xiaoyang came on the court, it became 2 against 4. Soon, Qin Yue picked 2 people in the class. One was the sports committee member, Wu Zhenyu, and the other was Li Ming. Both of them have good basketball skills, and Wang Qiang is obviously well prepared. His other 2 teammates also have good skills. Wu Zhenyu and Li Ming have played against them before, and both sides are evenly matched. Wang Qiang laughed and said, "Then let's get ready to start. Whoever wins 10 balls first wins. How about that?" "Good." Qin Yue said yes, and then prepared to start cheating. Take basketball to level 2. Ding, 500 points have been consumed. Current level, basketball level 201,000. Host, Qin Yue. Height, 185 centimeters. Physical fitness, 90. Value, 99. Skills. Chinese level 10500. Mathematics level 201,000. English level 10500. Physics level 10500. Chemistry level 10500. Biology level 10500. Basketball level 201,000. Remaining points, 1321 inch. When Qin Yue upgraded his basketball skills to level 2, he suddenly felt that he had become different. However, this is not enough. Wang Qiang is a key player on the school team, so his strength is needless to say. However, his level 2 basketball skills may not be enough to suppress his opponent. In this match, he wanted to crush Wang Qiang and completely stun him. Keep upgrading basketball. Ding, the basketball has been upgraded successfully. Basketball, 3000 inch. Basketball skill upgrade. Many basketball skills flashed through his mind, and his understanding of basketball also changed. If he was a novice before, now he can be said to be a veteran who has been immersed in it for decades. "Hey, Qin Yue, are you coming?" Seeing Qin Yue standing there in a daze, Wang Qiang said disdainfully. Although Qin Yue has the advantage of height, it is useless in Wang Qiang's opinion. He has played basketball for more than 10 years, so beating him is no joke. Qin Yue smiled mysteriously. "Come." On the basketball court, strength is the most important thing. Qin Yue's strength is very clear to him. He will definitely win this game. Chapter 9 Dunk. On the other hand, the news that Qin Yue was going to compete with Wang Qiang in basketball made many people excited. There are quite a few classes having physical education class today. In addition to the 2 classes in senior year, there are also quite a few classes in the first and second year of high school. At this time, many people were attracted directly, especially girls. Qin Yue is their male god, playing basketball games. This kind of thing must be supported greatly. At least we should lose the battle even if we lose the person. There were even many girls who were planning to skip classes after hearing that Qin Yue was going to compete. There were several circles of people surrounding a basketball hoop. "And Ran, there's something wrong at the basketball court over there, go check it out." Xiaolan ran to Yanran, her face flushed and she spoke breathlessly. "What's wrong?" Yanran frowned, not knowing what was going on. Xiaolan breathed a sigh of relief and said, Qin Yue and Wang Qiang are playing basketball in the basketball court. The loser has to crawl around the playground. Go and have a look." Basketball game? And Wang Qiang? Of course she knew this person, because she and Qin Yue had always been at odds with him. I didn't expect that he would take the initiative to cause trouble again this time. The key point is that this time Qin Yue is competing with him in basketball, which is the other's best sport. How could Qin Yue possibly be a match for the level of Wang Qiang's school basketball team? For a moment, Yanran couldn't help feeling a little flustered and ran towards the basketball court. "Hey, and Ran, wait for me. Come on, let's each practice one and try our hand at it." As he spoke, Wang Qiang stood under the basket and shot a clean 2-point shot. Just as he finished throwing the ball, Yanran ran over. Wang Qiang was delighted, and this time he beat Qin Yue to a pulp in front of Yanran. "Here, it's your turn." Wang Qiang directly threw the basketball to Qin Yue, feeling a little secretly happy. He, wait and see, I'll beat you until you cry." "No, my time is precious and I don't want to waste it on you. Let's just start the game." Qin Yue spoke in a calm tone, raised his eyebrows at Yanran, and smiled. Yanran blushed, and her rosy little face immediately lowered, feeling a little embarrassed. Wang Qiang was upset when he saw this. He was going to lose but still pretending to be cool. He pursed his lips and said, "It's up to you. If that's the case, you should serve the ball so that others won't accuse me of bullying you." Good. This time Qin Yue did not refuse. He took the ball and dribbled it twice. His excellent basketball skills allowed him to control the basketball at a very high level. Although he is far from being an NBA star, he has absolutely no problem playing this kind of game. Qin Yue dribbled the ball and slowly walked outside the three-point line. Seeing this, everyone's heart tightened. This was the rhythm of a three-point shot. It would be fine if the shot went in, but wouldn't it be funny if it didn't? Wang Qiang was stunned for a moment, then he was overjoyed in his heart. Is there something wrong with Qin Yue? He can't even make a shot from the free throw line, and is still shooting a three-pointer. Do you have this technology? It's useless to give you the opportunity. Get ready for the rebound. Wang Qiang made a gesture to his two teammates, and they understood instantly. However, after Qin Yue stood outside the three-point line, he shot without saying a word. The basketball drew a beautiful arc in the air and then went into the basket smoothly. Fuck, it's in. Xue Xiaoyang opened his mouth wide, and for a moment he was so surprised that he even forgot to breathe. How is this possible? Qin Yue is obviously at the same level as me, but he actually scored a three-pointer from long range. This must be cheating. Not only Xue Xiaoyang, but everyone present stared at the scene with wide eyes. Just go in like that. Then, cheers suddenly broke out in the field. My male god is so handsome. Oh my god, this is my man. Senior Qin Yue, I love you. Come on, Qin Yue. I will always support you. The girls present were instantly captured by Qin Yue. This man is so handsome. How can there be such a perfect man in the world? Many girls already had stars in their eyes and looked full of admiration. Xiaolan even jumped up excitedly, shaking Yan Ran's arm with both hands, and kept saying, "Oh my god, and Ran, did you see that? It's so handsome, I feel like I'm going to die." Yan Ran looked at Xiaolan with disdain, but she had to admit that Qin Yue was really handsome. This damn man is releasing his charm again. Hee, scumbag. Wang Qiang's two teammates looked gloomy and quickly came over. Fuck, how the hell do I fight this? Wang Qiang narrowed his eyes and said calmly, "Don't worry, this guy is just lucky. I'll go guard him later. You two keep an eye on those two people and don't let Qin Yue pass the ball to them." Good. The two looked at each other and said okay. Not long after, Li Ming passed the ball to Qin Yue. When he just got the ball, Wang Qiang immediately followed him with his arms open, guarding him tightly. Wang Qiang looked at Qin Yue with burning eyes and sneered. "Don't even think about going over there while I'm here." Qin Yue smiled slyly and said teasingly, "Yeah. Certainly." Before Wang Qiang finished speaking, he saw Qin Yue dribbling the ball from behind and suddenly moving to the left. Wang Qiang was stunned for a moment, and immediately followed. However, at this moment, Qin Yue changed direction again, changed his footsteps, and broke through directly from Wang Qiang's right side. Behind the back, between the legs, dribbling past the opponent, smoothly and in one go. Then, Qin Yue dribbled the ball to the basket and jumped. Bang! A dunk! Everyone was shocked by the scene before them. Qin Yue actually dunked the basketball hoop, which was more than 3 meters high, and it looked so easy and casual. Oh my god, Senior is so handsome, this dunk is so cool. Qin Yue is so fast. I feel like I'm about to be killed by his handsomeness. Oh my god, I can't take it anymore. How is this possible? Oh my god, this is too awesome. You know, this is a slam dunk. In the entire Subei No. 1 middle school, there are not many people who can do this. Even among the school basketball team, there are not many who can dunk so easily. First of all, height is required. If you are not tall enough, the difficulty of dunking will increase sharply. Secondly, dunking also requires extremely strong jumping ability. Both are indispensable. When Wang Qiang saw Qin Yue's dunk, he was stunned for a moment. Just now, Qin Yue dribbled past him and made a layup and slam dunk in one go. Even if he practices for another 10 years, he may not be able to reach this level of strength. After all, in basketball, besides hard work, talent is more important. It's horrible, it's so horrible. Originally, he thought Qin Yue was just a bronze level, but unexpectedly, this guy was actually a king. Wang Qiang felt like his heart was being fucked by 10,000 alpacas. Chapter 10, 3 verses. 1. Winning. As time passed, Wang Qiang became more and more anxious, and the situation on the field made him feel a little embarrassed. Qin Yue's slam dunk directly disrupted the formation of Wang Qiang and the other two, and instead injected a powerful sedative into Li Ming and the other two. Wang Qiang was full of doubts. God knows why Qin Yue is so strong. He had just seen Qin Yue standing at the free throw line and missing the shot. Now he has transformed himself. Not only can he make three-pointers steadily, but he can also dunk past opponents in one go. If I had known that Qin Yue was so strong, I would never have provoked him even if I killed him. Catch the ball. Wang Qiang suddenly jumped up and received the ball from his teammate. A smile appeared on his face. He finally received the pass from his teammate, and now it was his turn to perform. Wang Qiang has very good dribbling skills. As a main player of the school basketball team, he has solid basic skills. With a turn, a sudden stop, and a crotch move, he broke through the defense of Li Ming and Wu Zhenyu in succession and finally dribbled the ball to the basket. As if he heard the horn of victory, his body jumped up and he was about to make a successful layup. However, at this moment, a big, sturdy hand appeared out of nowhere. Fuck, this is a fucking ghost. Wang Qiang was shocked, and the ball in his hand was slapped away by Qin Yue. After landing, Wang Qiang's eyes were full of stars and he looked confused. I am him. Is this blocked? Not only Wang Qiang, everyone was stunned by Qin Yue's operation. This guy is too strong. Directly blocked the shot. For a moment, the entire basketball court was silent. Yan Ran stared at the scene in amazement. Qin Yue's basketball skills were obviously not that good, but how come he suddenly became so strong today as if he was assisted by God? It's unscientific. Soon, Wu Zhenyu and Li Ming were also led by Qin Yue and found their own rhythm. 10 minutes later, the score on the field became 0-9. That's right, Wang Qiang and his men came in aggressively and were beaten bold. If Qin Yue scored another goal, it would have been a real killer. By this point, Wang Qiang had already become discouraged and no longer cared about winning or losing. But he had to score a goal no matter what. This was not only a matter of face, but also a matter of dignity. But it was obvious that Qin Yue didn't want to give him this opportunity. In the field, Qin Yue took the ball. Wang Qiang stared at him nervously, with his legs slightly bent and his hands open for defense. Qin Yue dribbled the ball with a smile in his eyes, but in Wang Qiang's eyes, this smile looked more like the devil's mockery. Believe it or not, you can't defend this ball. Qin Yue spoke to Wang Qiang with a smile, but Wang Qiang ignored him and stared intently at the ball in Su Shen's hand. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead and he was extremely nervous. However, Qin Yue smiled and gestured to Li Ming and Wu Zhenyu. What is this for? No way, could it be that Senior Qin Yue is going to fight three of them alone? Damn, it seems to be true. What? Suddenly, someone saw something, and Qin Yue gestured to the two of them, indicating that they didn't need to use pick and roll defense and just watch the show. 1 against 3. And the other side also has the main members of the school team. Is this possible? I have to say, this decision seems a bit far-fetched no matter how you look at it. However, Wang Qiang did not dare to be careless at all. He had already experienced Qin Yue's strength. If he really won against 3 people alone, he would be completely embarrassed. Soon, Qin Yue moved. Wang Qiang immediately stepped forward to defend, bending his legs and using both hands to defend himself. However, all this was useless to Qin Yue. He turned around suddenly, then stopped abruptly, and suddenly, there was a breakthrough. Past Wang Qiang directly. Seeing this, the other 2 people rushed up to provide reinforcements. Qin Yue's mouth curled up, and without any unnecessary movements, he jumped directly from the free throw line. That's right, the free throw line. Everyone's eyes were fixed on Qin Yue's figure. With a height of 1.85 meters, he suddenly jumped up like a giant humanoid beast. The 2 of them couldn't defend themselves at all and just watched Qin Yue jump. Everyone just stared blankly at the scene before them. Boom! After Qin Yue jumped, his huge figure soared directly into the air. Then, a dunk. Everyone stared with wide eyes at the incredible scene before them. He passed the ball 3 times and then dunked from the free throw line. Oh my god, this is incredible. To everyone present, it seemed like a fairy tale. The next moment, their whole audience was in an uproar. Fuck, this ball actually went in. Brother Yu is awesome. Oh my god, a dunk from the free throw line, 1 against 3. Oh my god, this is so handsome. Senior Qin Yue is so handsome, I can't take it anymore, oh my god. Countless eyes were looking at Qin Yue's figure. At this moment, he is like a superstar that everyone is paying attention to. The eyes of those girls were like those of infatuated girls, falling in love. Even if Qin Yue asked them to do something now, they would most likely not refuse. Yanran swallowed her saliva, opened her mouth slightly, and looked at Qin Yue's figure, her pretty face even slightly reddened. Just like a young girl's yearning for love. Her heart was beating wildly like any other girl's. At this moment, Yanran seemed to be shot by Cupid, the god of love, and fell in love instantly. In her eyes, Qin Yue's dunk was so handsome and perfect. Qin Yue suddenly turned around, smiled in the direction of Yanran, and walked in front of Wang Qiang. Seeing this, the two younger brothers immediately came over, fearing that Qin Yue would take action. He smiled and patted Wang Qiang on the shoulder, then looked around and said, 10 o'clock, you lost, so, shouldn't you fulfill your promise? Promise? Of course, you have to climb around the teaching building twice, shouting, I am a waste, while climbing. Wang Qiang lowered his head, clenched his fists, and his face was full of unwillingness. He glanced at Yanran secretly, and felt even more depressed. Originally, he wanted to embarrass Qin Yue in front of Yanran, but he didn't expect that he would actually shoot himself in the foot. If he climbed around the teaching building twice, he would probably become famous the next day. By then, Wang Qiang would have no face to continue staying in Subei No. 1 middle school. Qin Yue sneered, took a step forward and pressed. Why, are you going to go back on your word in front of so many people? Qin Yue is not so good-tempered as to let his enemies go. This is not the first time that Wang Qiang has been causing trouble for me. It's time to teach him a lesson. Shui Xiaoyang came up quickly and said with disdain. That's right, you don't want to go back on your word, do you? Har har, I didn't expect Wang Qiang couldn't afford to lose. That's right, you can't even admit defeat. What a joke. Chapter 11, Accepting Defeat. The words of the people around him kept ringing in Wang Qiang's ears. Most of these people were Qin Yue's fans. Just now, Qin Yue's devilish basketball skills conquered them once again. In this comparison, Wang Qiang's behavior of not keeping his word is naturally the behavior of a mean person. If Wang Qiang denies his mistake, it is conceivable that the news will spread throughout Subei No. 1 middle school the next day. At that time, it will be social death. This is no joke, there is a 99% chance that this is true. After all, Qin Yue's popularity in Subei No. 1 middle school is no joke. Wang Qiang clenched his fists, his face looking terribly gloomy. After a while, he lowered his head and said unwillingly, willing to accept the bet and lose. Wang Qiang gritted his teeth and spoke almost word by word. If you accept the loss, you will make a fool of yourself in front of the whole school. Qin Yue raised the corners of his mouth slightly and clapped his hands. In that case, let's start your performance. After Qin Yue finished speaking, the crowd watching instantly became lively. That's right, I'll admit defeat, hurry up. Har ha har ha, hurry up and climb around the teaching building twice, shouting as you climb. That's right, you're shooting yourself in the foot and trying to screw my idol, bar. Being ridiculed in public by so many people, Wang Qiang looked extremely ugly. His two younger brothers also lowered their heads, not daring to speak, for fear of being implicated. Wang Qiang lowered his head and ran quickly towards the teaching building. Seeing this, everyone followed with laughter. A few minutes later. I'm trash. I am a waste. I am. Wang Qiang was shouting as he crawled, his hands were covered in dust, and he felt extremely embarrassed. His voice immediately attracted countless students. In an instant, most of the students in the classroom rushed out. Wang Qiang is quite famous in Subei No. 1 middle school. After all, he is a key player of the school team, so many students recognized him instantly. Fuck, isn't that Wang Qiang? It seems so. What the hell is he doing? I don't know, hurry up, take a picture, it's making me laugh to death. Har ha har ha, you climb really well. Yanran stood beside Qin Yue not far away. She raised her head and punched Qin Yue's arm, saying sarcastically. Great, Qin Yue, when did your basketball skills become so good? How come I didn't know you were so good at basketball for so many years? You should know that Wen Qiang is the main player of the school team and he is usually very successful. This time he was defeated by Qin Yue, in his strongest field, basketball. Beat Wen Qiang 10-0. This is simply unbelievable. Qin Yue, this guy, is so good at basketball, but he dared to hide it from me. Qin Yue lowered his head and smiled. Why, you want to know? Yi Anran nodded. Certainly. How about this, if you kiss me I'll tell you, how about that, isn't it fair? Qin Yue chuckled, with the corners of his mouth slightly raised. However, Yi Anran's little face was as red as an apple. Pooh! This scumbag actually wants me to kiss him. Bar. 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 Absolutely not. Yi Anran snorted, turned around with a red face, and said angrily. TSK, forget it if you don't want to talk about it. I don't care. Seeing Yi Anran's unhappy look, Qin Yue laughed out loud. However, he didn't intend to explain. After all, the reason why his basketball skills are so strong is mainly due to the system. The origin of this thing is too mysterious, even he himself doesn't know it, so it's better not to tell Yi Anran. Not long after, the Dean of Studies Zhang Yanbo was alarmed. Good job. So many students are not attending classes, and you are just standing here crawling around. You are so talented. Parents, please come along. Soon, the Dean of Studies, with a gloomy face, took Wen Qiang away by force with several teachers, and also dismissed all the students who were watching. On the other side, Qin Yue took a few glances and then smiled and pulled Yi and ran away. Qin Yue, why are you pulling me there? Qin Yue chuckled. Let's go, little Anran. Get out of class is still a while away. Come play badminton with me. Qin Yue invited Yi Anran with a smile on his face. At this moment, the sunlight was shining on Qin Yue's profile, making him look a little more sacred. Clean and sunny. 99's charm was absolutely explosive, and for a moment, Yi Anran was a little dazed. How can this bastard be so handsome? No, I must keep an eye on him and not let him harm other girls. If Qin Yue gets impulsive and has a few children, Aunt Li will definitely be unhappy. Yes, I am helping Aunt Li to keep an eye on this bastard and prevent him from having affairs with other women. Since you have invited me so sincerely, I will be merciful and play with you for a while. Yi Anran raised her little head proudly. Qin Yue chuckled. This little girl was just being stubborn. She was obviously very happy in her heart, but she looked so reluctant. He didn't say anything, but just took Yi Anran's hand and walked towards the badminton court. Yi Anran felt a little embarrassed to be held by Qin Yue's hand in front of so many people. She wanted to break free secretly, but found that Qin Yue was holding her too tightly. Oh my god, this is not my fault, it's all Qin Yue's fault. Since she can't break free, she simply gave up. Not to mention, being held by Qin Yue like this, I feel quite safe. The two of them walked like this, and countless envious eyes looked over at them. However, Yi Anran's thoughts had already begun to go astray. There were not many people playing badminton, so Qin Yue easily borrowed 2 rackets and gave one to Yi Anran. He handed the ball to Yi Anran in a gentlemanly manner and said, Yes, I'll let you serve. Yi Anran curled her lips. Okay, you stinky Qin Yue, you are getting cocky, I will beat you up and make you cry. Badminton has always been Yi Anran's strong point. Watch the game. The badminton flew out at a high speed and crossed the net. Qin Yue chuckled, took a step, and slammed the racket in his hand. The two of them soon started playing back and forth. Yi Anran had loved playing badminton since childhood, and the two of them often played badminton together, so Qin Yue also became quite good at it. However, it was obvious that Qin Yue was still far behind Yi Anran in badminton, and he was soon beaten by her. You can't do this, stinky Qin Yue, is this all? Yi Anran laughed happily. She didn't expect that Qin Yue would also suffer a setback. No matter how good you are at playing basketball, you can still be beaten at badminton. Cut tilde tilde. The corners of Qin Yue's mouth slightly raised. This little girl is really too proud. The morning passed quickly, and when the bell rang, Qin Yue and the others finished their get out of class. Unfortunately, the physical education teacher never kept students after class. The physical education teacher gathered everyone in class 7, said the get out of class was over, and then dismissed them. Chapter 12 Shopping. At noon, after finishing their meal, Qin Yue and Yi Anran returned to the classroom for a nap. Students at Subei No. 1 Middle School usually take a nap in the classroom. After playing ball for a whole morning, Qin Yue felt a little tired. He lay on the table and secretly called out the system. Check out the properties panel. Ding, checking. Host, Qin Yue. Height, 185 centimeters. Physical fitness, 90. Value, 99. Skills. Chinese level 10-500. Mathematics level 20-1000. English level 10-500. Physics level 10-500. Chemistry level 10-500. Biology level 10-500. Basketball 0-3000. Remaining points, 321. After upgrading the basketball to, Qin Yue's points were only over 300. Although his current panel attributes are not strong, Qin Yue believes that as long as he is given time, he can definitely create a miracle. Fuck. Qin Yue, who was thinking, suddenly felt a sharp pain in his left hand, as if he was bitten by a wild beast. He grimaced in pain. He turned around suddenly and saw Yi Anran with his eyes closed, biting his arm with his teeth, smacking his lips as he bit, as if he was eating something delicious. There is a neat row of teeth marks on the arm. There's some saliva on it. Qin Yue, good fellow. I feel like my arm is a pig's trotter. Qin Yue moved his seat speechlessly, and sat with his back to her to read. About half an hour later. The bell rang for the end of lunch. Get out of class. Yi Anran sat up straight with sleepy eyes, yawned, and his face gradually became more energetic. Turning her head, she saw Qin Yue reading and studying. Huh? Qin Yue, what's wrong with your arm? Yi Anran looked at Qin Yue's arm with suspicion. A row of red tooth marks appeared very clearly. Could it be that? Are there other girls hugging Qin Yue while he's not paying attention? Hiss, it seems very likely. In an instant, Yi Anran's expression became a little nervous. Qin Yue turned his head, looked at the teeth marks on his arm, and then looked at Yi Anran. He said speechlessly. Open your mouth. Open your mouth, what are you doing? Yi Anran was a little hesitant. Could it be that Qin Yue wanted to do something bad to me? Open your mouth, what are you doing? Qin Yue said unhappily. Compare your teeth marks. Yi Anran. Oh my god, it turned out that I was the one who bit it. The afternoon classes were still very intense, but Qin Yue didn't feel anything. He spent the whole afternoon lying on the table reading books to increase his points. Soon, the afterglow of the setting sun shone into the classroom, and the school bell rang. After the math teacher finished explaining the last problem, he announced the end of school. The afternoon class ended just like that, and Qin Yue and Yi Anran packed their school bags and prepared to go back. On the road, Yi Anran kept walking on the right side of Qin Yue, looking a little embarrassed, and it was obvious that something was wrong. After a while, she finally broke the silence and suddenly said, Qin Yue, let me tell you something. Seeing that Yi Anran looked a little strange, Qin Yue instinctively stopped, as if he smelled something dangerous. He looked at Yi Anran with vigilance. That is not right, this is not Yi Anran's style. She's in such a bad state, something bad must be wrong. What's up? Yi Anran smiled, showing a pair of fangs and said. Actually, it's nothing serious. Look, isn't tomorrow Saturday? I want to go shopping with you and buy some clothes. What do you think? Yo-ho! Accompany me shopping for clothes. I don't believe you at all. Every time he went out with Yi Anran, Qin Yue would always be walking behind him carrying large and small bags. He was just a tool, and an emotionless tool at that. The clothes bought were all Yi Anran's own, and Qin Yue only had one short-sleeved shirt at most. This little girl just treats him as a coolie. The key point is, they just do their work but don't pay me for my work. This is even more stingy than a rich landlord. No. Qin Yue refused decisively. No, dear classmate Qin, I can treat you to a meal, just accompany me. You have nothing to do at home on Saturday anyway, so why not go shopping with me, right? Seeing that bluffing was fruitless, Yi Anran changed his strategy and started to act like a spoiled brat. She held Qin Yue's arm and acted cutely, with an adorable look in her eyes that almost melted people's hearts, as if rejecting her was a wrong decision. It is absolutely hard to resist a girl who acts coquettishly, especially a girl as pretty as Yan Ran, who looks so cute that you will almost melt you. However, Qin Yue once again decisively refused. No, isn't it nice to read at home? I refuse to be a tool. Are you kidding? It's impossible for me to go shopping. Not in this lifetime. Isn't he playing games fun? Isn't he reading books joyful? Yan Ran, woo woo woo. Har har, this bastard has changed. He actually studied secretly at home without telling me. No, I absolutely can't let this go. I must let this bastard stay with me. I can't let him study secretly. Humph. Brother Qin Yue, can you bear to see a weak woman like me go out alone? What should I do if I run into a bad guy? Woo woo woo. Qin Yue, 6. Damn it, sister, if you're crying, at least act more realistically. It would be fine if you don't have a single tear, but what's with that raised corner of your mouth? Why does this crying feel a bit creepy? Qin Yue wanted to refuse again, but Yan Ran used his trump card. If you don't go with me, I'll tell Aunt Li that you bullied me. Qin Yue, damn. Is this even possible? This little girl really wants to make me a tool and move things for her, so she won't let go of any dirty tricks. The key point is that Yan Ran's trick has no solution. Since childhood, every time Yan Ran went to Li Shirley to complain that Qin Yue bullied her, Li Shirley would beat him up without saying a word. Explain. Har har, he needs to have a chance to speak too, right? Every time, Qin Yue was beaten up before he could even say anything. Sometimes Qin Yue himself doubted whether he was his biological son. Why was Li Shirley's attitude towards Yan Ran so completely different from his? Fuck, alright, I'm f-king scared of you, can't I just go? Qin Yue looked helpless. This guy was simply going too far and forcing a good woman into prostitution. The key was that he had to obey him. He, that's great, thank you, brother Qin Yue. Yan Ran had a smirk on his face, he, shopping for clothes. Of course it can't be that simple. I finally managed to trick such a good tool into giving me a chance, how could I let him go so easily? With those six-pack abs and that height, it would be a shame if he didn't do hard labor. Not long after, Qin Yue and Yan Ran returned to the family compound. Standing downstairs, Yan Ran waved excitedly and said, "See you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Qin Yue." Har 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 har. Chapter 13 Park Exercise. At night, after Qin Yue finished his meal, he stayed in the room for a while, then changed into sportswear and prepared to go out. Mom, I'm going to take a walk in the park first. Okay, be careful, don't play too late, and come back early to take a shower. Li Shirley was washing dishes when she shouted outside. "New." After replying, Qin Yue opened the door and rushed out. The park downstairs is not far from the family compound, only 2 or 3 minutes walk away. Usually in the morning and evening, there are many old men and women exercising downstairs. Tai Chi in the morning and square dancing in the evening, so lively. Soon, Qin Yue went downstairs and ran to the park, where there were all kinds of recreational facilities. On the side, an old lady was dancing in the square. Qin Yue walked to the horizontal bar. He bent his legs and successfully grabbed the horizontal bar. 1, 2, 3, 10. I did a few exercises for a while and felt quite relaxed. He has a very strong physique, which is considered good even among adults. Oh, you're a good boy. As soon as Qin Yue landed, he heard a voice of praise in his ear. He turned his head and saw that the person who spoke was an elderly man who was probably in his 60s and full of energy. The old man was wearing training clothes. He was not young, but he looked youthful with white hair and a certain air of a master. He looks a bit like the great immortal cultivator in novels. Qin Yue responded with a smile. Har har har, no, I was just practicing for fun. He has good physical strength to begin with, and his six-pack abs are not gained in vain. It is no problem for him to do 30 or 40 representatives on this kind of horizontal bar at one time. The old man seemed to be interested in Qin Yue. He walked over with a smile and said, "I've been training here for many years. Your horizontal bar skills are pretty good. There are very few people who can do 10 in a row without blushing or getting out of breath. This is an old neighborhood and the elderly have lived here for some years. So, I meet a lot of people." Qin Yue smiled and said, "You are too kind to me. I am ashamed to accept it." The old man said with a smile, My name is Li Luobai, you can call me Mr. Li. After the old man finished speaking, Qin Yue said respectfully. Hello, Mr. Li. Li Luobai looked at him with appreciation, smiled and said, then said to him. Come on, keep doing it. Young people's bodies are the capital of the revolution. Take good care of them. As if expressing his feelings, Li Luobai specifically pointed out. Qin Yue felt that this old man was a bit interesting, saying these things for no reason. However, what he said does make sense. The body is the capital of revolution. Without the body, everything else is useless. Li Luobai said with a smile. Okay, you continue to exercise, I'll leave first. Okay, Mr. Li, take care. Qin Yue was a little confused. He couldn't figure it out, so he simply didn't bother to think about it. He bent his legs slightly, jumped onto the horizontal bar and started doing it again. The reason why Qin Yue was able to do so much was entirely due to his strong physical strength. However, as if wanting to know his own limit, Qin Yue began to pull up on the horizontal bar frantically. Qin Yue was hanging on the horizontal bar and doing exercises non-stop. His physical fitness was good before, but more than 30 or 40 pull-ups on the horizontal bar were almost his limit. However, when he pulled up on the horizontal bar this time, not only was his speed very fast, but all the muscles in his body felt the core of his body and were used unconsciously, from his abdomen to his arms, and his whole body was extremely flexible. 1 2 3. Qin Yue's action of pulling up on the horizontal bar immediately attracted a lot of people. Today was Friday night and many people came to the park to exercise. Many people even started counting for him. As Qin Yue stretched, more and more people gathered. Several girls who had just finished running stopped directly and couldn't take their eyes off Qin Yue's figure. You know, the handsome guy does pull-ups on the horizontal bar. This is not something you can encounter casually. I finally got this opportunity, so I naturally can't give it up easily. The eyes of several little girls were already shining. Some people even picked up their phones and started recording. Oh my god, this boy is so handsome. 19. 20. In less than a minute, Qin Yue had done more than 20 of them, which immediately attracted a lot of cheers from the crowd. You know, it's considered amazing for kids nowadays to be able to do 10 pull-ups, but Qin Yue did 20 in one breath without taking a breath, so you can imagine how strong he is. As time passed, Qin Yue's speed slowed down obviously, and his breathing became more frequent. 53. When he reached the 53rd one, Qin Yue finally felt his limit. Normally he was considered impressive if he could achieve over 40 points, and this was the first time he had broken the number of 50. Qin Yue's breathing was disordered, but he didn't want to give up just like that, so he gritted his teeth. After saying that, Qin Yue pulled up the horizontal bar again. 61. 62. 70. When the number reached 70, Qin Yue finally couldn't hold on any longer and fell down. His hands were trembling slightly. He had just used too much force and his hands were a little cramped. Qin Yue chuckled, but didn't have time to speak. The little girls who stopped to watch already had stars in their eyes. The nightlights of the park shone on Qin Yue's face, highlighting his perfect features. That face is even more handsome than that of a celebrity, his figure is so good, and his pull-ups are so strong, it's amazing. These girls are drooling over this treasure boy. Oh my god, this is so handsome. I must find a way to get his contact information later. There are already girls who have planned everything in their minds, some even thought of what to name their future child. Handsome guy, you are awesome, add me on WeChat, we can work out together when we have time. Handsome guy, don't add her, add mine, I really like sports. And me. Hey, do you understand first come first served? Why don't you add me? These girls were so proactive that they were scary, just like hungry wolves seeing food. Qin Yue was so scared that his face turned pale, and many people gathered outside to watch the show. A fierce battle was about to begin. Taking advantage of the night, the protagonist Qin Yue finally pushed through the crowd and ran away without even looking back. If he doesn't leave, his pants will be taken off. Damn, these women are so scary. Just talk nicely and don't use violence. I almost lost my virginity, damn. A passerby accidentally squeezed into the crowd, and the group of girls found that Qin Yue had disappeared long ago, and those girls seemed to be about to start a war. Seeing that they couldn't find Qin Yue, they vented their anger on this passerby. Fuck, don't hit me in the face. In the chaotic crowd, He suddenly felt his face being slapped hard, and he cried out in pain. Fuck, these little girls fighting is so fucking scary. Chapter 14. Is this your biological child? Qin Yue finally pushed his way through the crowd, his face pale, and he ran back home in a flash, still feeling a little frightened. Those girls are just like tigers pouncing on their prey, so scary. How damn long has he been greedy for this? He almost got his pants taken off. Damn. The group of terrifying girls just now suddenly gave Qin Yue the idea of learning martial arts. His physique is already in good condition, so he can usually fight 1 or 2 people alone without any problem. If he could learn some martial arts skills, he would definitely be stronger. When Qin Yue thought of this, he had an idea that he must learn something about martial arts if he had the chance in the future. Although this is a society ruled by law, if you have martial arts skills to defend yourself when you are in danger, it can definitely save your life. At least in a fight, you will definitely. Not long after, Qin Yue returned home and took a shower first. He had just done 70 pull-ups and was sweating a lot. Fortunately, his physique is strong enough and his arm has recovered and is no longer sore. Otherwise, it would be so painful that he would not be able to lift it tomorrow. After he finished taking a shower, it was already 10:20 in the evening. Qin Yue lay on the bed feeling a little bored. Suddenly, the cell phone rang. Yanran, damn Qin Yue, what are you doing? Qin Yue, I just finished taking a shower, and I smell so good. I smell so good all over now. Do you want to come over and smell it? Just got out of the shower. Want to go over and smell it? This damn bastard is teasing me again. Yanran, you are thinking about Tauzi. Qin Yue made a mean expression and typed. Hey, why are you being so polite to me? Yanran, get lost. This bastard will tear off the roof if he is not punished for 3 days. Yi changed the subject calmly. Oh, by the way, if Aunt Lee asks us where we're going tomorrow, just say we're going to go shopping at a nearby mall, got it? WTF? This statement is profound. Qin Yue suddenly felt something was wrong. Aren't you buying clothes at the nearby mall? So where is she going? For a moment, Qin Yue felt like he had been cheated. Damn, it seems like I've fallen into a trap. Qin Yue made a confused expression, and then continued to ask. If there is no mall nearby, where are you going? Yanran made a spreading hands expression. I can only say that if I understand, I understand. If I don't understand, there is nothing I can do. This matter involves too many things, and I can't tell you directly. What the hell? This is Lao Donger. Wow, it's confirmed, I was cheated. Is it too late to run away now? Yanran, alright, I'm tired, go to bed early, I have work to do tomorrow. Well, okay, since I can't resist, I can only enjoy it. Qin Yue, yes, I obey your command. Omega. After drawing the curtains, Qin Yue lay on the bed and quickly fell asleep. The next morning, sunlight shone in through the window and the alarm clock Qin Yue had set rang. He jumped out of bed and quickly washed up. Then he heard his mother calling him to eat. Qin Yue, it's time for breakfast. Here I come, Mom. The breakfast for a family of 3 is relatively simple, a glass of milk, a fried egg and bread. During the meal, Qin Yue's father spread out the newspaper on the table. Although Li Xiaoli told him many times not to read the newspaper while eating, it didn't seem to be very effective every time. He would stop once or twice and then start again. In the end, Li Xiaoli was too lazy to say anything. After drinking a sip of milk and seeing Qin Yue's changed clothes, Li Xiaoli suddenly said, Are you planning on going out today? Yeah, let's go shopping at the nearby mall with. And ran. As soon as she heard about Yanran, Li Xiaoli felt relieved. She liked Yanran from the bottom of her heart. She looked so lovable, had good grades, and was well behaved. In addition, the relationship between the two families was very good, so she really treated Yanran like her own daughter. It would be great if his good-for-nothing son could marry Yanran. Follow Yanran, that's fine. You're a young man, don't let Yanran get tired. Be active and rush to do it, okay? Li Xiaoli said a lot of things earnestly, which made Qin Yue's scalp tingle. Can you believe this is my biological mother? Why do I feel like I was adopted, as if Yanran is her biological child? This treatment, my God. Qin Yue took a bite of the egg reluctantly. Why did he suddenly feel that the egg didn't smell good anymore? Qin Guangcheng suddenly put down the newspaper and interrupted. Your mother is right. And Ran is such a good girl. Don't make her tired. Shit, I'm gone. Is this my dad and mom? Is this my home? Why do I feel like I'm just a tool? Qin Yue, oh. After dinner, Qin Yue carried a small crossbody bag, a white short-sleeve top, jeans, and army green high-top canvas shoes, showing his perfect temperament. If he walks on the street with this outfit and good looks, I don't say 100% of people will turn their heads to look at him, but at least 99% of them will turn their heads to look at him. Mom, I'm leaving. Good. Qin Yue opened the door and left directly. After going downstairs, not long after walking, Qin Yue saw Yi Anran's figure. She was dressed very differently today, in a light green long skirt with a pair of low-top white canvas shoes, and long socks that made her figure look slender. When Qin Yue got closer, he noticed that she had light makeup on her face. Generally speaking, Yi Anran would not wear makeup, so Qin Yue had no chance to see Yi Anran like this. However, Yi Anran's appearance today made him unable to take his eyes away for a moment. The makeup is just right and the long skirt is flowing. Beautiful, so beautiful, their whole person is full of fairy spirit. Hey, idiot, what are you looking at? Seeing Qin Yue staring blankly, Yi Anran couldn't help but chuckle. What girl would not care about her appearance? Some boys are obsessed with her beauty and are so happy that they can't contain themselves. What's more, this boy is Qin Yue. Therefore, Yi Anran felt very happy in her heart. Today's makeup was not in vain. It could be regarded as a benefit for Qin Yue. After all, his task today was not easy. Qin Yue came back to his senses and smiled. Student Yi Anran, why are you so beautiful today? TSK tilde. Yi Anran snorted, seemingly not caring about Qin Yue's praise, but in fact, she was already very happy. This stinky man has some taste. I spent a full hour preparing to wear this outfit. Yes, you are the one who carries this. Remember, you are not allowed to open it. As he spoke, Yi Anran directly threw a pink backpack to Qin Yue. Qin Yue then noticed that Yi Anran was carrying a school bag. He took the bag and instantly felt a slight weight, and it was a little bulging. What's in here? Chapter 15 Hanfu Exhibition. Yi Anran smiled mysteriously and said, I won't tell you, you'll know later. Qin Yue. This contrived look. Why do I suddenly have a bad feeling? He patted the school bag and felt something soft, like clothes, but he didn't know what was inside. Oh, that's enough, let's go, we're going to be late. Having said that, Yi Anran pulled Qin Yue away. Soon, the two got on the bus. Because it was morning and today was a holiday, there were not many people on the bus, so they sat in the last row. It wasn't hot in the morning in July, so the bus didn't have air conditioning on. Qin Yue opened the window. The remaining heat of summer had come to an end, and the breeze blew, making people feel a little itchy in their hearts. Qin Yue moved closer to the window. The wind outside blew up his hair, and from the side he looked like a beautiful painting. It's so cool. Yi Anran, who was standing aside, was originally looking at the message on her phone. When she looked up, she suddenly saw Qin Yue's profile. Holy crap! This man also has holy light. This is so beautiful. That face was more delicate than a girl's, with smooth and fair skin, without a single acne mark. The breeze brushed across his face, adding a touch of charm. Yi Anran felt as if he had been electrocuted and was stunned for a moment. Would you like to listen to music together? At some point, Qin Yue handed over one side of the white headset, which woke Yi Anran up. She blushed, took the headset shyly, and said in a low voice, Then, she tied up her hair and gently put the earphones into her ears. There was a new song playing on the phone. Yi Anran had never heard this song before, but she felt it was pretty good when she listened to it for the first time. The singer's voice sounded a little familiar, but she couldn't remember where it came from. Qin Yue, what's the name of this song? I've never heard of it before. I love you. Yi Anran's face, which had been rosy just now, suddenly became even redder with embarrassment. What the hell? Is this a confession? Why is it so abrupt? Who would confess their love on the bus? But he said that, so how should I respond? Reject. Yi Anran secretly glanced at Qin Yue, as if it was a bit difficult for her to say these two words. Ath. Why is this bastard confessing his feelings at this time? Isn't this too sudden? Yanran felt like her heart was about to explode. She could already hear her own heartbeat, it was beating extremely fast. Qin Yue, what are you talking about? How can someone confess like this on the bus? Qin Yue was completely confused. Confession? Who the hell confessed? He turned on his cell phone and shook the screen in front of Yanran's eyes. I mean, the song's called I Love You. Yanran, huh? The song is called I Love You. Oh shit, it really is Lee Ronghao's new song. I was wondering why this voice looked so familiar. Yanran breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it was fortunate. If Qin Yue had really confessed to her, she would not know how to respond. It seems like I can't say the word refuse at all. However, Qin Yue came over and said with a smile. No way, little Anran, you are not thinking of something unhealthy. TSK, there is something wrong with you. Seeing Qin Yue's malicious smile, Yanran's face suddenly turned red again. Her red little face was like a ripe red apple, and she wanted to take a bite just by looking at it. No, don't talk nonsense. Humph, I'm not ignoring you, you annoying bastard. After saying that, Yanran quickly turned her head away, not daring to look at Qin Yue again, fearing that he would see something. Yanran's reaction made Qin Yue smile evilly in his heart. This little girl is just stubborn. You are obviously thinking about unhealthy things, but you don't say anything. You can tell at first glance that the bus driver is an experienced driver. He drives the bus very steadily without any bumps at all. Because she had to get up early in the morning to put on makeup, Yanran got up too early, so she yawned twice in a row and fell asleep leaning on Qin Yue's arm. Qin Yue also felt a little groggy. He lowered his head slightly, leaned against Yanran's little head, and squinted his eyes. Smelling the fragrance of Yanran's hair, Qin Yue felt that the world was particularly quiet and beautiful. The two of them sat at the back of the bus, looking like a couple in love, but fortunately there were not many people on the bus and no one broke the tranquility. Boom! After an unknown amount of time, Qin Yue suddenly felt a shock that woke him up. He opened his eyes, moved slightly and twisted his neck, and then Yanran also woke up. However, this girl was obviously not awake yet, and still looked sleepy. She slapped Qin Yue in the face. Stinky Qin Yue, why did you wake me up? Qin Yue was also stunned. He glanced at the scene outside the window and saw the bus stop. Fuck, is this the final stop? When you get on the bus, it's still the starting stop, but when you wake up, you've already been on the bus for 20 or 30 stops. Yanran, where the hell are you taking me to? Yanran also opened his eyes at this time, looked out the window, stretched himself, and said with a smile. No, we are here. Qin Yue. Holy shit, this is a joke. The housing estate they live in is on the south side, and this is on the north side. Isn't it said that there is a shopping mall right next to their home? Why are they coming here? Okay, don't be shocked. Get out of the car now. It will be too late later. Having said that, Yanran stood up and walked towards the car door. Qin Yue didn't have time to ask and hurriedly followed. As soon as he got off the car, Qin Yue followed Yanran with the pink backpack on his back. Not long after, the two of them saw a huge exhibition hall. Isn't this the North Exhibition Hall? Aren't you here to go shopping? What are you doing here? Qin Yue looked at Yanran with some confusion, feeling as if he had been cheated. This. Yanran was also a little embarrassed, as her destination was the Beijing Exhibition Center. Today, Hanfu enthusiasts from Subei City are holding their annual exhibition at the Beijing Exhibition Center. My mom said she would not let me come in the past 2 years, but this is the last time before I go to college. I don't want to miss it, so I made up an excuse. After hearing the end, Qin Yue also understood. It turned out that the girl wanted to participate in the Hanfu exhibition, so she tricked him into coming with her. Of course, Qin Yue also knew that Yanran had been exposed to Hanfu since the 3rd year of junior high school, and had also met some Hanfu enthusiasts in the circle. This was quite normal, after all, everyone has interests and hobbies. Yanran's mother doesn't object to her wearing Hanfu, but she also doesn't agree with it. After all, according to the older generation, learning comes first. Although she didn't object, it was only limited to Yi Anran saving some pocket money to buy hanfu. Let alone such a large-scale hanfu exhibition, her mother would not allow even 3 or 5 hanfu enthusiasts to gather for a meal and chat. Therefore, Yi Anran tried his best for this hanfu exhibition. Chapter 16 Little Fairy. Qin Yue spread his hands helplessly. He had already been deceived, so there was nothing he could do. He had already run from the south to the north, he couldn't just go back like this. I've fallen into this little girl's trap. Okay, now that we're here, we can't run away. He. Yi Anran smiled happily, her eyes were curved like crescents. So, what's in this backpack is hanfu. Yeah, well, let's go, I still have to go change my clothes. After saying that, Yi Anran pulled Qin Yue into the exhibition hall without saying a word. Today in the Beijing Exhibition Center, there are young men and women wearing hanfu everywhere. The beautiful hanfu is full of poetic and picturesque beauty, as if bringing people back to the era thousands of years ago. During the heyday of hanfu, the atmosphere of Chinese culture could be seen everywhere. Being in such a world is really a special feeling. In addition to these, there are also some ancient cultural activities, such as spring festival couplets, poetry and paintings, lantern riddles, and ancient poems. Qin Yue was also enlightened. There were so many people in the huge North Exhibition Hall. Most of them were hanfu enthusiasts from all over the country. As soon as they heard that there was an exhibition hall in Subei City, they all came here. You know, normally these hanfu enthusiasts rarely have such activities. Generally, these are small events with only 10 to 20 people at most. Large-scale events like the one held in the North Exhibition Hall today are definitely rare. So, this is why Yi Anran is so excited. Just as the two were leaving, a pretty girl in her 20s wearing a chest-length skirt came over. When she saw Yi Anran, she said kindly, "Anran, you are finally here. We thought you were not coming." This girl is pretty, and the hanfu dress makes her look even more gentle. She is like a beauty from ancient times, gentle and virtuous. Yi Anran stuck out his tongue with a smile. "Sister Lu, I managed to sneak out with great difficulty. I don't want to miss such a big event today." Liu Lu also knew Yi Anran's situation. She nodded and said, "Glad you're here. Hey, is this your boyfriend? He's so handsome." As she spoke, Liu Lu saw Qin Yue, and her eyes suddenly lit up. This boy who came with Yi Anran was really handsome. That face, with its clear contigs, sharp eyebrows and bright eyes, even the male protagonists on TV may not be able to compare to him. To be honest, Liu Lu has been in the hanfu circle for many years and has met many good-looking boys, but none of them can compare with Qin Yue. This boy is so perfect. If he were to wear hanfu, wouldn't he be a truly elegant and talented man? In ancient times, he would definitely be a famous handsome man. He can even be ranked among the foremost handsome men in ancient China. Yi Anran seemed to see the gleam in Liu Lu's eyes. "I couldn't help feeling a little unhappy and spat secretly. This damn man is releasing his charm again." Snort. No, he must not be allowed to harm other girls. Yi Anran directly hugged Qin Yue's arm and said, "Yes, this is my boyfriend Qin Yue." Yi Anran's words seemed to be a declaration of sovereignty. She hugged Qin Yue tightly, as if she didn't want to let go for a moment. Upon hearing this, Liu Lu understood that he was indeed Yi Anran's boyfriend. Although she was a little envious, she also knew that these two people were a perfect match, with both being talented and beautiful. Liu Lu greeted Qin Yue politely. "Qin Yue, hello. My name is Liu Lu, and I'm also a hanfu enthusiast. Are you here with Anran to participate in our hanfu event today? Participate in hanfu activities? Are this?" To be honest, Qin Yue did have a good impression of hanfu, but he didn't know much about it and had never worn it. He came here today just to be used as a tool by Yi Anran. So he smiled and refused. "No, I came here to accompany Anran. To be honest, I didn't know much about hanfu before, but I still support hanfu culture. After all, they are all excellent traditional cultures that need to be inherited by young people." Hearing this, Liu Lu smiled and said, "It's okay, today is our hanfu exhibition, you can change into hanfu and try it on then." "Okay, I won't bother you two anymore, Anran, the backstage changing area is just ahead, go straight ahead and turn right." As one of the managers of today's event, Liu Lu has a very busy task today. After all, the North Exhibition Hall is too large, and it is sometimes difficult for her to take care of it all. Okay, I'll go change my clothes first, Sister Lu. Yan Ran smiled and said hello, then pulled Qin Yue and ran to the backstage to change clothes. Wait for me outside for a while. I'll go in and change my clothes first. Also, don't run around. Wait for me here obediently. Yan Ran waved her little fist, strictly forbidding Qin Yue to run around. She couldn't let him run around and harm other girls. Oh, no way sir, why are you saying the same thing as my mom? The way Yan Ran speaks is becoming more and more like Li Xiaoli. Qin Yue said to Yan Ran with a sly smile. Humph, I'm helping Aunt Li keep an eye on you. Yan Ran raised her head proudly and waved her little fist in front of Qin Yue. Okay, I won't run around, okay? Go change your clothes quickly, it won't be too late. Good. Yan Ran didn't want to waste too much time, so after warning Qin Yue again, he hurried to change his clothes. Qin Yue waited outside, taking out his phone from time to time to check the time. For a boy, the most difficult thing is waiting for a woman to change clothes and put on makeup. Because they often spend more than an hour just to put on a not-so-good-looking makeup. This is very Zhao. Qin Yue waited outside for about 10 minutes, with a look of impatience on his face. Fuck, I might as well play King of Glory at home with this time. Just as he was complaining, suddenly, the door opened. He looked in the direction of the sound of the door opening and saw a scene that he would never forget in his life. Wearing a white skirt, as gentle as jade, Yan Ran was a beautiful lady standing alone from the world. She looked like an immortal. Her every frown and smile made people unable to have any blasphemous thoughts. She was like a fairy who was so beautiful that she could topple a country. Qin Yue was stunned immediately. The woman in front of me wearing a white skirt is Yan Ran. Not only was he stunned, but pedestrians around him also stopped and watched. I even swallowed saliva in my throat. Fuck, did I see a fairy? Why is there such a beautiful girl? Is this a girl? Is she really a fairy? This is too cute. Stunning, it's really stunning. Such a beautiful girl looks like she walked out of a painting. Chapter 17, Pot Tossing. The moment Yan Ran walked out, their whole world seemed to stop. Countless people swallowed their saliva, like hungry wolves seeing delicious meat. However, Yan Ran ignored everyone's gazes and slowly walked up to Qin Yue. When everyone saw Yan Ran walk up to Qin Yue, everyone's eyes turned to Qin Yue. What kind of man can make such a fairy-like girl fall in love with him? It's simply incredible. However, when everyone saw Qin Yue's face, they held their breath again. Oh my god, this little brother is so handsome, my god, his looks are absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Oh, I'm dying, I want to get her contact information, with such beauty, I'd pay for her even if it means giving her money. Damn, did this man walk out of a painting? Why is he so handsome? Although I'm a man, I don't know why I seem to want a contact method too. Brother, there's something wrong with you. Everyone was talking about it, but no one dared to go up. Because whether it is Qin Yue or Yan Ran, their looks are really too high. To a height that they cannot reach. Such beauty can only be admired from a distance and not touched. Yan Ran smiled and lifted her skirt, turned around in front of her, and asked with a smile. How is it? Does it look good? Does it look good? This is no longer something that can be described as beautiful. Didn't you see that those pedestrians who stopped were so dumbfounded that they couldn't even move forward? At this moment, Yan Ran was like a fairy who had descended to earth, so beautiful that nothing could describe it. The slight dissatisfaction that Qin Yue had just felt disappeared in an instant. Nonsense, what's there to be unhappy about? It's so beautiful, how can you bear to be unhappy? Qin Yue was also stunned for a moment. It took him a while to react and he nodded quickly. It looks good, really good. Looking at Qin Yue's fiery eyes, Yan Ran couldn't help but feel a little happy. This was the first time in all these years that she saw Qin Yue looking at her like this. In the past, he would usually look at games in internet cafes. Therefore, Yan Ran couldn't help but feel a little secretly happy. This guy is really stupid. He. Yan Ran smiled and said. Come on, let's go to the Hanfu exhibition. I'll take you around and let you feel the atmosphere of Hanfu. Yan Ran is absolutely obsessed with Hanfu. She started to like Hanfu when she was very young. For someone who likes Hanfu, he always hopes to bring such a beautiful thing to the people around him so that they can like it too. Therefore, Yanran has been whispering in Qin Yu's ears, trying to make him fall in love with this beautiful sport of Hanfu in various ways. Of course, she failed. The defeat was complete. Qin Yu doesn't take anything seriously except games. When Qin Yu heard that Yanran wanted to take him to visit the Hanfu exhibition, he had no objection. Now that I'm here, I can't just sit here and play games all day. That's not appropriate. Qin Yu laughed and said, "Okay, let's go." Aha! The two left amid the envious gazes of the crowd. Not until the two men's backs could no longer be seen did the crowd disperse with a look of reluctance on their faces. "Look at Qin Yu, what is that?" Yanran pointed to a stall not far ahead. The stall owner was a middle-aged man in his 30s, thin and lean, wearing a black hanfu. "Looks interesting," Qin Yu said. "Let's go and take a look." "Good." Yanran nodded and followed Qin Yu with excitement. When the two walked to the booth of the lean middle-aged man, the middle-aged man suddenly stood up with a smile and said, "Two handsome men and beautiful women, let's play a game." Yanran looked at the various small pots in front of him with some curiosity and asked curiously, "Boss, how do you play this?" The middle-aged boss said with a smile, "This is called pitching pots, a very popular game in ancient times. The winner is to stand a few meters away and shoot an arrow into the pot. $20 for a bow and 10 arrows. If you hit 5 or more, you can get a beautiful prize." As he spoke, the middle-aged man pointed to what was written on the sign behind him. "If you hit 5 out of 10, you will get a beautiful doll. 6 out of 10 hits can win. If you hit 9 out of 10 times, you can get 600 yuan in cash. If you hit the target 10 out of 10 times, you can win a Hanfu costume worth 1,000 yuan." When Yanran saw that she could win a piece of Hanfu if she hit all 10 targets, her eyes turned green. Hanfu, her favorite thing. Can actually get it here. If you hit the target 10 out of 10 times, you can get a Hanfu costume for free. Bet $20 on $1,000. Big profit. Yanran shook Qin Yu's arm and said pitifully, "Qin Yu, why don't we play a little? Maybe we can win a big prize." As soon as Yanran finished speaking, the middle-aged man followed her words and said, "That's right, let's play a round. Maybe we can win a prize. That's a Hanfu dress worth 1,000 yuan." The middle-aged man's seductive voice lingered in Yanran's ears. However, Qin Yu was very sober. Although he had never played this kind of pitching pot game, he played ring toss every day when he was a child in his previous life. If you hit the target, you can take it away. A rough estimate is that he spent at least 1,000 yuan playing the ring tossing game when he was a child. Therefore, he is well versed in the routines of this little game. Each opportunity costs little, and the rewards look extremely tempting. So people keep trying. But once you start trying, it's hard to stop. This mentality of risking a small amount for a big gain is actually a gambling mentality. Qin Yu wanted to refuse, but when he saw Yanran's expression, he couldn't help but soften his heart. He looked at the distance in the pot and made a rough estimate. With his ability, although he may not be able to win the Hanfu Grand Prize, it should not be a problem for him to win a small prize. You won't lose money anyway. Therefore, Qin Yu smiled and said, "In that case, let's play for a while, but let me tell you in advance that we can only play 3 rounds at most. No more than that. 3 games, that's $60. As long as you can control your inner desires, it's not a loss to spend $60 to have some fun." Yanran nodded excitedly and said quickly, Yeah, no problem, Qin Yu is the best." Qin Yu smiled and shook his head, then looked at the middle-aged man and said, "Boss, give me 10 bows and arrows first." "Okay." After Qin Yu scanned the code and paid 20 yuan, the boss quickly brought 10 bows and arrows. These bows and arrows no longer have arrow tips, which means they are not lethal to humans. Otherwise, these things would have been confiscated long ago. Chapter 18. Don't go too far. Qin Yu picked up 10 bows and arrows and handed them to Yanran, saying, "Yes, come and try it." "Good." Yanran was also extremely excited. He quickly picked up the bow and arrow and stood outside the line to throw it inside. The distance from here to those pots is not exactly the same. Some are only 3 or 5 meters away, while others are 6 or 7 meters. They are arranged in a disorderly manner and there seems to be no pattern at all. Yi Yanran held the bow and arrow and threw it with a whoosh. Bang! Suddenly, the first arrow came in. A hint of joy immediately appeared on her face. The whole person's momentum was shocked. Yi Yanran threw the arrow in his hand again and it flew out. Whoosh! However, this time, Yi Yanran did not win again. The second arrow fell to the ground instantly. This failure also means that she has no chance of wearing hanfu. Immediately afterwards, 2 of the remaining 8 arrows hit the target. A total of 10 shots hit the target 3 times. There is no reward at all. This game not only tests the skill of throwing pots, but also the psychological quality of the player. For example, just now, Yi Yanran threw the ball into the first pot. If you are extremely excited, your emotions will fluctuate. The second throw will be inaccurate. Of course, if Yi Yanran missed the first shot, his second shot would also be greatly affected. This game not only tests the skill of throwing pots, but also tests the psychological quality. This is why stall owners can offer hanfu as rewards without hesitation. Because basically no one can complete it. Yi Yanran pouted, looking a little unhappy. She said with some displeasure on her face. Qin Yue, you come next. Good. Qin Yue smiled slightly, patted her little head and said. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Although he couldn't guarantee winning the grand prize, he would definitely not lose money. This boss wants to cheat him, but there is absolutely no way. After Qin Yue paid another 20 yuan, the boss handed him 10 bows and arrows with a smile. In his opinion, these 2 students were just giving him money. If he could get the reward, he would do a live broadcast of himself eating shit while standing upside down. Qin Yue stood outside the line, his whole aura changed, and he stared at the front with eyes as sharp as an eagle's. Soon, there was a whoosh sound. Qin Yue threw an arrow. Hit! Yi Yanran said happily at the side, but she knew that she couldn't disturb Qin Yue, so she was excited quietly at the side. On the other side, Qin Yue picked up another arrow. Throw it in again. Another hit. That's right, Qin Yue had been hit twice in a row. Moreover, his mentality was not affected at all and he was in good condition. Seeing Qin Yue playing the game of tossing pots here, a lot of people gathered around him instantly. 1 minute later. Oh my god, this handsome guy is so amazing, he has already hit 8 targets in a row. Oh my god, 8 hits in a row, this is too strong. I've been watching all morning, and no one has shot more than 5 times. Hiss, why doesn't anyone pay attention to this handsome guy's face? He's so handsome. Qin Yue won 8 yuan in a row. The stall owner next to him was shaking with his hands and kept wiping the sweat off his face. I originally thought that he was a student who knew nothing. Unexpectedly, this guy is actually a pig in disguise. Win 8 yuan in a row. He has been in this business for so many years, but he has only encountered a few. Soon, Qin Yue focused his eyes and shot again. Bang! Suddenly, the crowd went wild. Oh my god, this is the 9th one I've shot. Winning 9 prizes in a row, awesome. That means the worst we can win is second prize. Fuck, I got 600 bucks just like that, that's awesome. Qin Yue's 9 consecutive hits instantly made the people around him excited. They all looked at Qin Yue excitedly, with shock and envy on their faces. On the side, there were 2 people who were the most excited. One is Yi Yanran, and the other is the middle-aged stall owner. It is conceivable that the middle-aged stall owner's heart is bleeding at this moment. If he wins again, the hanfu worth more than 1,000 yuan will be gone. Then he really lost a lot of money. Just as Qin Yue was about to shoot again, the middle-aged boss' heart rose to his throat. Afraid that Qin Yue would get hurt again. Par. What was shocking was that Qin Yue missed and fell to the ground. The pot is only half a step away. What a pity, what a pity. Yi Yanran's eyes were filled with deep regret. Almost, just a little bit. She can own another hanfu. The middle-aged stall owner breathed a sigh of relief. Although he lost 800 yuan, compared with the hanfu, the loss was less, and his mentality was instantly balanced. Qin Yue smiled slightly, walked over and said, "Boss, the second prize is 600 yuan, right?" The stall owner sighed, somewhat unwilling to communicate with Qin Yue, but still nodded and said, "Yes, 600. After saying that, the middle-aged stall owner took out 6 red banknotes from his bag and lowered them. Qin Yue took the banknote, with a hint of joy in his eyes. I didn't expect that I would have such unexpected gains after visiting the Hanfu exhibition. In fact, just now, when he threw the last shot, he was sure he would make it. However, Qin Yue deliberately deviated a little and missed the shot. Because he doesn't want Hanfu. Isn't he 600 yuan good? You can spend dozens of days in the internet cafe. You can buy dozens of study materials. This is much more fragrant than Hanfu. Anyway, Yanran didn't know that he could have made the shot. No one knows. However, at this time Yanran came over and said, "Boss, let's have another go." What? The middle-aged stall owner was instantly shocked. He looked at Qin Yue and quickly shook his head. If you can come, he can't. Yanran, why? Why can't he do that? You didn't say that we can't play again after we've played. This. The middle-aged stall owner was speechless for a moment. Indeed, he had not stipulated this before. However, Qin Yue's pitching skills were too strong. He was afraid that Qin Yue would come back a few more times and he would lose all the pants he had paid for. So, he quickly shook his head and said, "No means no." You. Yanran was immediately angry. The people around him also stood on Yanran's side, and they all criticized him in unison. Why not? That's right. Stall owner, you are dishonest. Seeing that the situation was somewhat out of control, Qin Yue quickly pulled Yanran and said, Okay, let's stop playing and go. Why? Before Yanran could react, Qin Yue pulled her away. The two walked aside, and Yanran asked, Qin Yue, why don't you let me continue arguing with him? It was obviously his fault first. Qin Yue smiled and said, Well, let's be merciful. He is also a small business owner. If I win everything, he will not be able to continue his business. As a human being, you should forgive others when you can. Don't overdo it. Chapter 19 Poetry Contest. Seeing that Yanran's face was still tense, Qin Yue was not panicked at all. He knew very well what this girl was like. She must be holding back her laughter. Come on, my dear Miss Yi, take me to visit the Hanfu exhibition again. Qin Yue's mouth curled up into an arc, and he looked at Yanran with a smile. Seeing this man smile, Yanran's tense face could no longer hold back, and her heartbeat even quickened. Oh, no, it's that heart-pounding feeling. How could this damn man be so handsome? No wonder those girls act like they've taken some crazy medicine when they see him, and they all become so proactive. Yanran's tense face melted away, her heart was agitated, but she still pretended to be calm. Okay, then let me take you around the Hanfu exhibition. Follow me closely and don't get lost. There was a little more smile on Yanran's proud face, and a faint smile unconsciously appeared at the corners of her mouth. Okay. After saying that, Qin Yue walked to Yanran's left and took her smooth, white and tender little hand. This way you won't be afraid of getting lost, right, Miss Yi? Yanran suddenly felt a little hot, but instead of struggling to break free, she seemed to enjoy this state. The two of them strolled around the Hanfu exhibition hall holding hands in tacit understanding. The North Exhibition Hall of Subei City is very large. Usually not many people come here, but because it is a Hanfu exhibition, it attracted quite a few people today. Although Hanfu seems to be a niche sport, there are actually quite a few people who like it all over the country, and there are clubs such as Hanfu Club in all major universities. After all, this is a part of Chinese culture and is worth learning and spreading. Along the way, there were various small games of Chinese culture, such as a game called throwing pots that the two saw. It is to stand at a certain distance and throw the arrows in your hand into the mouth of the pot. The victory or defeat is determined by the number of arrows hitting the mouth of the pot or the state of the arrows hitting the mouth of the pot. The winner gets chips and the loser drinks. This game originated in the pre-Qin period. Hey, what are they doing? It's so lively. Come on, Qin Yue, let's go and take a look. Having said that, Yanran pulled Qin Yue and ran over without saying anything. There are many activities at today's Hanfu exhibition, and poetry is one of them. Anyone else want to play? The rewards for this poetry competition are very generous, worth more than 2,000 yuan. If not, then the winner is Ms. Kyoko Murashita from Japan. The host stood on the stage, holding a microphone and talking non-stop. Some people in the audience had already started whispering. What? There are so many people in China, but no one can compare to this Japanese girl. That's right, she has already won 31 games in a row. It's so infuriating. Hurry up, are there any friends who dare to come up? Don't embarrass China. Most of the people who came here today are Hanfu enthusiasts, and they all know a lot about ancient poetry, but they were still defeated one by this girl. Win 31 games in a row. This really explains the problem. This Japanese girl really has something in her belly. Soon, two boys in Hanfu stood up. They were both freshmen in the Chinese department of Subei University and also Hanfu enthusiasts. When they heard that there was a Hanfu exhibition here today, they hurried over. They didn't expect to encounter such a thing. They were all scholars, so naturally they couldn't stand being bullied by a Japanese woman. When someone stood up, thunderous applause broke out from the audience. Good job, keep it up. Come on, come on. The content of their competition was very simple. There was a large screen in front of everyone, on which questions would appear randomly. There were 12 questions in one round. All they need to do is answer the questions quickly. They will get 2 points for each correct answer, 2 points will be deducted for each wrong answer, and no points will be awarded if they do not answer the question. The one with the highest score in each round becomes the champion. And this Murashita Anzi has won 31 consecutive games, which means she has been the champion for 31 rounds. This is undoubtedly terrifying and requires a strong foundation in poetry. After all, such a competition system has absolutely no advantages for the champion. After the two boys came on stage, they stood on both sides. Anko Murashita stood between the two of them. She was about 1.65 meters tall, wearing a JK outfit, long black stockings, and black glasses. Although she was not very old, she exuded a mature charm. When the three were ready, their host announced the start of the competition, and then the first question appeared on the big screen. Which poet was described by Sushir as, "There is painting in poetry and poetry in painting"? A. Wang Wei. B. Meng Haoren. C. Liu Yuxi. Bang! Less than 3 seconds after the question appeared, Anko Murashita immediately pressed the quick answer button. The answer to this question is A. Wang Wei. The host picked up the microphone and said, "The answer is correct, Ms. Murashita Kyoko gets 2 extra points." The two boys looked at each other and immediately felt a lot of pressure. To be honest, they also knew the answer to this question, but they were not as fast as Murashita Anko in reading the question and answering the questions. Question 2. Bang! Murashita Anzi took a picture of the last question, then pushed her glasses, chuckled and said, "Choose C for this question." The host stepped forward and said, "Congratulations to Murashita Anzi for answering correctly. 2 extra points. This round of competition is over." Apricot Murashita, 20 points. Guoshijie, 4 points. Liu Hua, 0 points. Therefore, in this round of competition, Murashita Anzi won and retained the title of champion again. Anko Murashita scored 20 points alone, it's really terrifying. However, after the host announced the winner, instead of any applause, everyone frowned. We are all Chinese, but so many people can't do anything to a Japanese girl, and she even beat us 32 games in a row. How shameful. After the two men came down, the host picked up the microphone again and said, "Is there anyone else willing to come on stage?" As soon as the words fell, there was quite a commotion below. This Japanese girl is so amazing, she is really extraordinary. Yes, I know those two people just now. They are students of the Chinese department of Subei University. They have a good cultural foundation, but they both failed. You should know that although Subei University cannot compare with the two top universities, Qin University and Yang University, it can definitely be ranked among the top 10 in the country, and all the students who can enter are extremely outstanding. Unexpectedly, even these two people were beaten by Murashita Anko. Difficult, too difficult. On the ring, Murashita Anzi gently adjusted the frame of her glasses with her right hand, a disdainful smile appearing at the corner of her mouth. The Chinese people seem to be just so-so. There is not even one person who is qualified to be her opponent. He. Chapter 20. Choose D for this question. Time passed minute by minute, and Murashita Anzi was still standing on the stage, looking down upon the crowd. She has been exposed to Chinese culture since she was a child, especially poetry, in which she is particularly interested. He started reciting poems at the age of 3, and by the age of 7 he could recite 300 Tang poems by heart, making him a definite child prodigy. She is 20 years old this year and came to China for tourism. She came here with great interest when she heard that there was a Hanfu exhibition here. Is there anyone who dares to challenge our Miss Murashita Kyoko? If not, then she will be the winner. Their host's voice sounded again, but no one dared to go up. After all, this woman is too strong. She has won 32 games in a row. No one can be sure of winning. At this moment, Yanran poked Qin Yue next to her and whispered in her ear. Qin Yue, how about the two of us go up and give it a try? Qin Yue was stunned at first, and then asked in confusion. Why? Because I can't stand a Japanese showing off in China. Yanran said somewhat angrily. Perhaps influenced by Yi Shuewu, Yanran has been a particularly patriotic little girl since childhood. So, she naturally felt uncomfortable when she saw the Japanese showing off their power on the stage. Qin Yue was also stunned when he heard this. To be honest, he also felt the same way as Yanran said. If possible, he would definitely like to knock Murashita Anzi off the stage. However, this woman was too strong, and he had no chance of winning with his Chinese. Just as he was hesitating, he suddenly heard a familiar voice. Ding, congratulations to their host for receiving the mission, breaking the myth, and preventing Murashita Anzi from becoming the champion. Reward, 2,000 points. Qin Yue, who was a little hesitant at first, suddenly became alert. He didn't expect that the system would actually issue a task. This is the first time that a task has appeared in the system, and it is worth 2,000 points, which is a considerable number. However, although points are good, it is still a bit difficult to know how to use them. With his Chinese level, he is not as good as the two boys from the Chinese department of Subei University, and is even worse than Murashita Anzi. What should I do? Suddenly, his eyes lit up, as if he had thought of something, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Come on Anran, let's go up and try. Oh, okay. Yanran was also a little excited. The two of them walked up to the stage side by side, and everyone's attention was attracted. It is impossible for these two people, a handsome man and a beautiful woman, to keep a low profile, let alone at this time. Even Murashita Anzi's eyes lit up. The sight of Yanran wearing Hanfu made her, who was also a girl, feel extremely stunning, and he immediately caught her attention. After looking for a while, she moved her gaze from Yanran to Qin Yue, and then, she felt the same amazement. This boy is so handsome. There are many handsome men in Japan, and she has seen many outstanding boys, but compared with the boy in front of her, they are far inferior. Oh my god, this boy is so handsome. When a girl saw Qin Yue, her eyes sparkled and she almost drooled. Really? This is so cool, isn't it? That girl is so stunning, oh my god, is she a fairy? Love it, what's the relationship between these two people? They are so good looking. Liunu came over with a group of young men and women wearing Hanfu. She was managing something else just now, but when she heard that a Japanese woman was causing trouble, she couldn't wait to rush over. The people behind her have a good relationship with her and are all fans of Chinese culture. Oh my god, who is that boy? He's so handsome. Oh, isn't that Anran? These two are such a perfect match, a perfect couple. Liulu, what is the relationship between these two people? Everyone asked at once. They also knew Yanran and often chatted with each other in a group. However, I didn't expect that Yanran brought a boy with her today. The key is that this boy is so handsome. Liulu smiled bitterly and said. I heard from Anran that they are a couple. What? Everyone was shocked. I didn't expect that Yanran is so beautiful and actually has a boyfriend. However, they looked at Qin Yue's face and felt that all this was normal. Handsome man and beautiful woman, they are a perfect match. The host walked in front of the two people with the microphone, looked at them in surprise, then smiled and said. Great, someone is finally willing to come up and challenge us. What are your names and what is your relationship with me? Qin Yue took the microphone handed over by their host and said to everyone in the audience with a smile. My name is Qin Yue, and this is my girlfriend Yanran. Wow. These two are really boyfriend and girlfriend. This is such a perfect match. There was an immediate uproar from the audience. Handsome men and beautiful women always attract attention, not to mention that they are on stage at the same time. Only Yanran lowered her head, her pretty face blushing. Damn Qin Yue, how could he say such a thing in front of so many people? This is too embarrassing. The host smiled and said, "This is the first time I've seen a couple come up to challenge together, so please take your positions, the competition will begin soon." Good. Yanran and Qin Yue didn't say much and both stood in their positions. When Yanran turned his head to look at Qin Yue, he suddenly saw him blinking at her and smiling mysteriously. She suddenly had a bad feeling. This smile. Could it be possible that this guy was up to something? Yanran couldn't figure it out, but the competition was about to begin, so she didn't have time to think too much. The game begins. After the host finished speaking, the first question soon appeared on the big screen. Bang! 1 second after the question appeared, no, the question hadn't appeared completely yet, Qin Yue pressed the button. Everyone was shocked. No way, you're answering the question before you've even finished reading it. No, that option hasn't been released yet. He answered with a bullshit answer. Even Murashita Anzi was stunned. It would have been fine if the question was only halfway revealed, but the key point was that the options hadn't been revealed yet and they were already rushing to answer. Funny, right? Qin Yue smiled at Yanran and said confidently. Choose D for this question. Everyone. After he finished answering, the host asked the staff who controlled the presentation of questions to display the rest of the content on the big screen. What does banma mean in the sentence, I wave goodbye and leave, the sound of horses neighing? A. Horse with pattens. B. Stray horses. C. Using Banjiu and Sima Qian as metaphors. The answer is B. When everyone saw this question, they were all shocked. There are only 3 options, A, B, and C. What does it mean that you chose D? Someone immediately showed disdain below. Har har, you dare to go up to this level, isn't this embarrassing? That's right, I thought it was so amazing, but this is it. Chapter 21, Flying Flower Order. This was the first time the host encountered such a situation, but his good manners allowed him to resist the urge to beat Qin Yue up. Qin Yue answered this question incorrectly, so 2 points will be deducted. Second question. When he finished speaking, the second question began to appear on the screen. Bang! Qin Yue, choose D for this question. Others? Murashita Kyoko? Yanran? Everyone was stunned by Qin Yue's bold move. Does this person still have any shame? Where is D? Even Yanran was confused. She didn't even dare to look up. She wished she could find a hole in the ground to crawl into. Qin Yue was such a jerk. It was so damn embarrassing. She just said in front of so many people that she was his girlfriend. Isn't this also a trap for me? Woo woo woo. From that smile just now, I knew it was nothing good. However, among all the people, only Liulu did not show disdain, but seemed to be thinking about something. She seemed to understand Qin Yue's tricks. In fact, there are problems with this competition system. A total of 3 people can go up to the stage, and there are a total of 12 questions. They will answer them quickly. 2 points will be awarded for each correct answer and 2 points will be deducted for each wrong answer. The one who remains to the end and has the highest score will be the champion. But that's exactly where the problem lies. If the 2 people on the stage are a couple like Qin Yue and Yanran, if one of them rushes to answer the question before it is fully answered, they will continue to lose points. After answering the last 12 questions, his score was -24, but the remaining 2 people both scored 0 points, which means they were both the champions. This is fucked up. Doesn't that mean the remaining 2 people are both winners? This is the loophole in this game. The reason why Qin Yue used this method was not only to exploit loopholes in the competition system, but also to exploit loopholes in the task. The task assigned by the system was for him to break the myth of Murashita Anzi and prevent her from retaining the title this round. It would definitely not work if he followed the conventional method, so he had to resort to this last resort. At worst, everyone will get 0 points and there will be no champion. Question 12. Bang! The host had just finished speaking the question, and before it appeared on the big screen, Qin Yue had already pressed the button. Murashita Anzi was furious. This guy was simply not a human being. She didn't answer any of the 12 questions. The key is that this guy stole the questions and didn't answer them properly, choosing D for all of them. Tell me, how the hell is this possible? Anko Murashita's mentality collapsed. This is the first time I've encountered an opponent who doesn't play by the rules. However, Qin Yue didn't care about that. He seemed not to notice the strange looks from others. He showed his white front teeth and said with a smile, "For this question, I choose D." Host, har har, har har, wrong answer. Then, the scores of the three players appeared on the big screen. Apricot Murashiter, 0. Yianran, 0. Qin Yue, 24. Depend on. It was the first time we saw the score of 24, and everyone was shocked. Please, be a human being. What the hell is this? The audience was already cursing and showing all kinds of disdain for Qin Yue. Behind Lulu, everyone was staring in amazement. This outrageous operation really surprised them. Har ha har ha, look, this host is already confused. That's right, this is the first time I've seen such a trick. This operation is absolutely amazing. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the mission and preventing Murashiter Apricot from becoming the champion. Get reward, 2,000 points. The host stood in the middle holding the microphone, with an embarrassed look on his face. He couldn't even announce the result of this match. Are the two with 0 points both champions? However, Qin Yue picked up another microphone at this time and said with a smile, "I think everyone has figured out that this competition system is problematic. If two people on the stage know each other and collude, the chances of winning will be greatly increased. Since this is a poetry competition, I think we should change the competition system. It would be more fair to use a traditional competition like flying flowers." Indeed, after Qin Yue's intervention, everyone realized that there was something wrong with the quick answer competition system. If the two people on the stage know each other and have colluded in advance, as long as one of them is ahead in the score and the other one gives a lot of wrong answers, then there is no need to explain who the final winner will be. The Feiwaling proposed by Qin Yue was indeed very fair, and it was also a poetry game that had been passed down for many years. The so-called flying flower order. For example, if their host chooses the word night, then the three people will take turns to say a poem about the night. If one cannot answer the question, then he or she loses, and the remaining two people can continue competing until the last person wins. Everyone in the audience nodded. The Feiwa order was indeed feasible and fair. Seeing that the atmosphere was a little off and the host was unsure about what to do, he quickly ran backstage to discuss things with his leader before returning to the stage. After what Qin Yue said just now, the quick answer competition system does have some problems, so the previous competition is invalid. Let's compete again through the flying flower order. Does anyone have any objections? Everyone turned their eyes to Murashiter Anko. As long as this Japanese woman had no objection, they would naturally not refute. Murashiter Kyoko smiled slightly. What about the flying flower order? I have no objection, then let's use the flying flower order, which can also help some idiots leave the stage early. The idiot she was referring to was naturally Qin Yue. The series of quick responses just now made her feel very unhappy. In her opinion, Qin Yue was just a good-looking but ignorant good-for-nothing. Such a man, no matter how handsome he was, would never impress her village girl Xingzi. For a man, the most important thing is talent. Qin Yue smiled slightly, not caring at all. Anyway, she would soon know what horror was. The host said, "Since everyone has no objection, let's start the flying flowers order." Then, the big screen began to scroll, and 5 seconds later, the word "my" appeared. Our current round of flying flower order is based on the word plum. Every line of poetry must contain the word plum. Each person must not think for more than 10 seconds. Now, the competition begins. Qin Yue said softly in his heart. System, all points will be upgraded to Chinese. Ding, upgrade successful. Chinese, current level, level 4. Host, Qin Yue. Height, 185 centimeters. Physical fitness, 90. Value, 99. Skills. Chinese CET 405,000. Mathematics level 201,000. English level 10500. Physics level 10500. Chemistry level 10500. Biology level 10500. Basketball level 3.02,000. Remaining points, 13 inch. Originally, Qin Yue had 13 points, and could only upgrade Chinese to at most. However, Chinese is definitely no match for Murashiter Kyoko. However, with the 2,000 points he just gained, it was just enough for him to improve his Chinese to expert level 4. There are 7 levels of skills from 1 to 7. Although the Chinese language level of CET4 is not as good as that of any expert or master, it is definitely not much worse. Qin Yue suddenly felt much more elevated, as if he had acquired a more refined temperament. Chapter 22. How many poems about plum blossoms do you remember? Murashiter Apricot stood between Qin Yue and Yanran. She pushed her black-framed glasses, her eyes full of disdain. She despised such an opportunistic man from the bottom of her heart. Plum-shaped flying flower order, then let's start with Mist Suanxierxingzi. Murashiter Kyoko nodded, then said. The plum blossom is 3 points less white than the snow, but the snow is 1 point less fragrant than the plum blossom. These are 2 very classic lines from Snow Plum by Lu Maper from the Song dynasty. After Murashiter Anzi finished speaking, it was Yanran's turn, and everyone turned their eyes to her. With Yanran's looks and temperament, she should have been the focus of the whole audience, but she was just disrupted by Qin Yue, so no one knew how strong she was. What answer will this fairy-like woman give? During the plum rain season, every household has rain, and green grass ponds are full of frogs. Yanran's ethereal voice reached everyone's ears, gentle and warm, giving people a feeling of first love. Pity. Followed that bastard Qin Yue. Although it is undeniable that this guy is handsome, his fucked up behavior just now has been reflected in everyone's mind. Is this something a human can do? After Yanran finished answering, it was Qin Yue's turn. This time, everyone's eyes were fixed on him, even the host. He was really afraid that Qin Yue would do something weird to him again. Murashiter Anzi looked at him indifferently, her eyes full of disdain. Qin Yue saw all of this, but he didn't care at all. He smiled and said, "A few plum blossoms bloom alone in the corner of the wall in the cold. I know from afar that it is not snow because of the subtle fragrance." Someone whispered. It seems that this guy named Qin Yue is not so incompetent. TSK, isn't it just Wang Anshi's plum blossom? Even any child can do it. It's nothing. I guarantee that he will lose within 3 rounds. I think so too. 3 rounds. That's a bit too much. There was a lot of discussion below, most of which was distrust of Qin Yue, but Xiao Xiaoxi didn't think so. For some reason, she felt that this boy named Qin Yue was not that simple. After Qin Yue, it was Murashiter Xingzi's turn. Of course, this round was still not difficult for her and she answered the questions right away. The same was true when it was Yanran's turn. This went on for 5 rounds. Once again it was Qin Yue's turn to answer. He smiled and said, "The plum leaves its sour taste on your teeth, and the banana leaves are green like the window screen." After he finished his answer, some people in the audience began to look at him seriously. Because the poem he answered with was not a famous quote, but a not-so-famous poem by Yang Wanli, and few people would know it. Being able to answer this question in such an occasion shows that Qin Yue does have some real talent. Those who had originally speculated that Qin Yue would not be able to survive 3 rounds shut up. Not only did he not fail, but he seemed to be able to handle it with ease. After 4 rounds of conversation, nearly 30 poems about plum blossoms had been spoken. This is hard to imagine for ordinary people, especially since some of the poems spoken by the 3 people were not heard by many people. After Murashiter Anzi finished speaking, it was Yanran's turn. She paused for a while, searching for poems about plum blossoms in her mind. But unfortunately, all she could think of was what the 3 of them had just said. The host took the microphone and began to count down. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. Time is up, Miss Yanran is eliminated. After the host finished speaking, there were looks of regret in the audience. Such a talented and beautiful young lady was eliminated just like that. What a pity. Yanran walked up to Qin Yue and whispered in his ear. "Damn Qin Yue, you must try your best and don't lose. Otherwise, hee. It's obvious that this girl is still not convinced, especially since her opponent is a Japanese girl, which makes her even more upset." Qin Yue pinched her face, causing it to blush immediately, and said softly, "Hey, don't worry, your man will definitely take the first place. Okay, go down first and see how I defeat her." "Yeah, okay." Before leaving, Yanran gave Qin Yue another encouraging look, signaling him to cheer up. Qin Yue smiled slightly and said, "Shall we continue then?" Murashiter Kyoko looked at him calmly, pushed up her black-framed glasses and said, "Go on." Because Yanran was out, it was Qin Yue's turn to answer. "The cold plum blossom is the most hateful, it always looks like last year's flower. This is a poem by Li Xiangyin, called Remembering Plum Blossoms. After Qin Yue finished answering, Murashiter Apricot followed closely, and the two of them followed one after another without stopping at all. Without Yan Ran's participation, the two of them were like people who had been given an injection of chicken blood. Not only did their speed not slow down, but it became faster and faster. Sometimes they didn't even need to think and just said it out loud. After going back and forth for another 19 rounds, the two of them went on for another 19 rounds. At this time, everyone's eyes on Qin Yue had changed. Even Murashiter Anzi, not only did she not look down on him at all, but she was very cautious instead. This guy had been playing the pig and eating the tiger all along. With such horrible poetry skills, he didn't need to exploit loopholes in the game in that way in the first round. As time went on, every answer from the two of them aroused huge applause. Yan Ran stood in the audience, looking at Qin Yue with excitement. Her face was full of excitement, as if she was the one standing on the stage at the moment. The light red deceives the drunk powder, who would believe that there is Jiangmai. After Qin Yue answered with a poem by Ma Yao Chen, it was Kun Xixing's turn. But this time she didn't answer quickly, but fell into deep thought. She searched her mind for poems about plum blossoms, but the back and forth with Qin Yue just now had basically exhausted everything she had, and she had reached her limit. But why did Qin Yue still look so relaxed? She glanced at Qin Yue without leaving any trace, and seeing that he was still smiling, she couldn't help but become more anxious. 10, 9, 5, 4. Look at the wind coming in the evening, so it should be difficult to see the plum blossoms. After finally thinking of a line from Li Qingzhe's poem, Murashiter Xingzi breathed a sigh of relief. It was Qin Yue's turn again. However, this guy didn't even think about it and blurted out another poem about plum blossoms. Anzi Murashiter's mentality collapsed instantly. I give up. I'm curious how many poems about plums you still remember. Murashiter Anzi gave up answering directly. She really couldn't remember, but she was very curious about how many poems about plum blossoms Qin Yue had in his mind. Qin Yue was stunned for a moment, then said with a smile. There are not many sentences about plum blossoms, only about 30 or 40. Chapter 23 The Uncrowned King. For a long while, Murashiter Anzi's face turned blue and purple. She didn't expect to meet such a terrifying opponent. She showed great interest in Chinese culture since she was young and started reciting ancient poems at the age of 3. Her teachers had all praised her before. Even in the whole of China, there were only a handful of people under the age of 30 whose attainments in poetry could surpass her. But unexpectedly, she was defeated today, and her opponent was a boy who looked younger than her. When Qin Yue nonchalantly said that he still had 30 or 40 poems about plum blossoms in his mind, Murashiter Anzi knew that she had indeed lost, and was crushed. Even if she managed to hold on for another round or two, it would be of no use because she would still lose in the end anyway. Because this boy is so strong. Murashiter Apricot looked at Qin Yue solemnly, and then said sincerely. I lost this round, Qin Yue, right? You are very strong. I will remember you. After she finished speaking, she looked at Qin Yue deeply for a few times, as if she wanted to imprint his entire being in her mind. Sure enough, there are always people better than you. Today, she finally saw it. This young man named Qin Yue is really too strong. Qin Yue smiled and said. Thank you. China is home to many outstanding people. I am just a nobody and insignificant. Both you and I need to maintain a respectful heart. Qin Yue's calm words not only echoed in the ears of Kun Xixingzi, but also struck everyone's heart. Yes, in this magical country of China, no matter who you are, you should be more humble, otherwise you will always encounter some capable people. Well said. What the male god said is so good. There was an even louder applause from the audience. China is home to many talented people. How could a barbarian island nation look down on them? Murashiter Apricot took a deep breath, then bowed deeply to Qin Yue. This bow represented her admiration for Qin Yue. She also expressed that she agreed with Qin Yue's words. China has many talented people, and we must not sit in the well and watch the world from now on. I understand. If there is a chance, I hope to consult you again. After saying that, Murashiter Anzi turned around and walked down the stage directly, then left the North Exhibition Hall without hesitation. For her, being able to meet Qin Yue and have a match with him was enough. It really brought her a lot. After returning this time, she would have to work harder. After Murashita Anzi left, everyone looked at each other. At this time, Qin Yue was the only one left on the stage, and no one would challenge him at this time. Murashita Anzi, who had won 32 games in a row, also lost to Qin Yue, so it was even more impossible for others to win. At this moment, he is the undisputed number one. At this time, behind Lulu, the group of young men and women were dancing excitedly. Fuck, Sister Lu, brother Qin Yue won, and Ran's boyfriend is too strong. As expected of Ran, your boyfriend is so outstanding. As expected, outstanding people attract each other. That's right, and Ran's boyfriend is not only handsome, but also has a strong foundation in poetry. I'm so envious. My god, this man is so perfect. Behind Lulu, everyone was envious and their expressions were beyond words. In fact, Lulu is the same. She took a deep look at Qin Yue. This man is so handsome. Especially the moment when he fought alone against Murashita Anko just now, it was so cool. Boys who guard the national border and fight for the face of China always have a special charm. At this time, their host came over with the microphone, with some excitement on his face, as if he was also infected by Qin Yue's words. Congratulations to Qin Yue for winning the final victory. The prize this time is 2 sets of Hanfu costumes worth 2,000 yuan. Wow tilde. Although everyone already knew that the prize for this poetry knowledge competition would be valuable, the 2 sets of Hanfu still surprised everyone. Most of the people who come here are Hanfu enthusiasts, and it is impossible to say that they have no idea about the rewards this time. However, they were not sure of their chances against Qin Yue, the uncrowned king. Soon, the poetry competition ended and the crowd dispersed. Qin Yue and Yi Anran followed the staff to the backstage and each took a set of Hanfu. Both sets of Hanfu are fine products with fine workmanship, and each set is worth more than 1,000 yuan. When Yi Anran got the Hanfu, she was so excited that she almost jumped up. Qin Yue was so awesome. I actually got her favorite Hanfu, it's so great. Yi Anran had a smile on her face, she couldn't stop laughing, and she was extremely happy in her heart. You're so good at this, Qin Yue. I didn't expect you to be so powerful. She had never expected the situation of Fei Waling just now. Qin Yue actually fought against Murashita Anzi for so many rounds by himself, and not only did he win, but he did it so easily. This guy's Chinese language skills are really profound. I never thought this guy could hide so deeply. That's right, how can your boyfriend not be awesome? Yi Anran blushed immediately. No. Don't talk nonsense. What boyfriend? Qin Yue pinched Yi Anran's little face and said jokingly. Didn't you admit it yourself? Humph, no, you stinky Qin Yue. Qin Yue smiled slightly. I have worked so hard and got the Hanfu. How are you going to reward me, Miss Yi? Yi Anran thought for a moment, then said with a smile. I've treated you to lunch, so feel free to eat whatever you want. Qin Yue, that's all. You want to get rid of me after just lunch? Yi Anran, he. What else do you want? Yi Anran came over and asked cutely. Qin Yue suddenly felt a little dizzy. This little girl is so cute. He couldn't help it for a moment, pinched Yi Anran's cute little face, and said with a smile. I want you. Yi Anran? Is this stinky man confessing his love to me? How could he have such an idea? Yi Anran's face suddenly turned red. What should I do? How should I respond? However, when she glanced at Qin Yue, she found that this guy was grinning evilly. Yi Anran was immediately furious. Great, this guy actually really bullied me. You bastard, you will die today. Damn Qin Yue. Help tilde. Sunflower acupuncture point pressing hand, tendon breaking hand, strong man is hard to do, dog Qin Yue, don't run away. Fuck, I'm not running, do you think I'm stupid? Come and chase me if you can, Lulu tilde. Don't worry, when I catch up with you, you will be killed today. Chapter 24 Lulu's Invitation. When Yi Anran caught Qin Yue, he gave him a good beating. Let this guy fuck me. You deserve it. Because Qin Yue got 2 sets of Hanfu, one for boys and the other for girls, Yi Anran couldn't wait to go in and change after getting them. Just like a child who gets candy, he is always very excited. Yi Anran came out after changing. She was wearing a light blue long dress, which was elegant and beautiful, giving off the flavor of a classical beauty. Qin Yue, how is it, does it look good? Yanran couldn't wait to walk in front of Qin Yue, smiled, and turned around. Qin Yue touched his chin and said seriously. Hey, which fairy is this? How can she be so beautiful? Hey, you're so sweet. Yanran smiled, like a little elf, extremely beautiful. Although she was not wearing any makeup, it did not conceal her charming beauty at all. Girls are always particularly happy when they are praised by others. Therefore, Yanran was in a particularly good mood. This guy has some good eyesight, hee hee. Stinky Qin Yue, why don't you try on some hanfu? I've never seen you in hanfu before. Are this? Indeed, Qin Yue had never worn hanfu before, but with so many people outside, he felt a little embarrassed for a moment. This isn't very good. How about we change it when we get home? No. Yanran said firmly. She was already able to roughly outline what Qin Yue would look like in hanfu. It must be great. He is definitely a handsome man who can attract thousands of girls. Well, okay, then you wait here for a while, I'll go change now. Qin Yue waved his hands and agreed reluctantly, because he understood Yanran's character. If he didn't agree, Yanran would definitely not let it go. This little girl was very bad. Very good. Afterwards, Qin Yue walked in with the hanfu in his hand. Yanran was waiting outside with an expectant look on his face. After Qin Yue walked in with the hanfu, Yanran was waiting outside alone with an expectant look on his face. Suddenly, she heard a shout from not far away. Yanran, so you are here. Hearing this familiar voice, Yanran turned around instantly. I saw several familiar figures. The people who came were Lulu and some friends in the group. They are all in a hanfu group. Although the group is not big, everyone has a good relationship. We are both hanfu enthusiasts with similar interests. Yanran came over quickly, with a smile on his face. Sister Lu, why are you here? Lulu looked at everyone and laughed. I just saw you and your boyfriend answering questions on stage. You were really good. Look, these girls want to get to know your boyfriend. Are they jealous? What Lulu was talking about was naturally the little girls behind her. They all have a good relationship with Yanran. We also like to joke around together. So, in response to Lulu's joke, Yanran smiled and said, of course I don't mind. By the way, he went to change into Chinese clothes and will be out soon. As soon as Yanran finished speaking, a girl smiled and said, then let's wait here for a while and see what it feels like to see the male god wearing hanfu. Yes, Yanran, then we will wait for a while. Ha 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 ha, yes. Lulu brought everyone here, firstly to chat with Yanran, and secondly to meet Yanran's boyfriend. After all, Yanran is their good sister, so naturally they want to see what kind of person Qin Yue is and whether he is worthy of Yanran. Just as everyone was talking, the door suddenly opened. Yanran, Lulu, and everyone else turned around at the same time and saw an unforgettable scene. Behind the door, Qin Yue, wearing hanfu, stood there quietly. The white hanfu set off his strong body. Her face is as rosy as the moon in the Mid-Autumn Festival and as colorful as the flowers in the spring morning. This can no longer be described with the word handsome. This attitude is truly imprinted in everyone's heart. He is like a banished immortal, untainted by the worldly world. Yanran widened his eyes and couldn't help swallowing. This man is so handsome. Lulu and those other girls were not much better. They stared at Qin Yue intently, not letting him go from head to toe. Everyone just stood there in a daze, not knowing what to say, their minds blank. Suddenly, Yanran felt as if there was something in front of her eyes. She came back to her senses in an instant. Qin Yue had stood in front of her without her knowing, which startled her. Yanran, what are you thinking about? Why are you so engrossed? Qin Yue grinned and asked softly. His smile seeped into Yanran's mind, causing her pretty face to blush, and she didn't dare to look directly into Qin Yue's eyes. Yanran waved his hands quickly and said incoherently. Nothing. I just suddenly thought of a math problem. I've already solved it. Yanran couldn't think of a good reason at the moment, so he just made one up. Oh tilde, Qin Yue looked at her with a smile. Is that so? Yes, that's it. Oh, by the way, Sister Lu and the others are here. They said they want to meet you. Yanran's eyes were a little vague, and he hurriedly explained, and in the end he did not hesitate to sell Liulu out. Teammates? They are for buying. When Qin Yue looked over, Liulu also reacted and said quickly. Yes, I came with them because I wanted to meet Ran's boyfriend. After all, we are good sisters who have known each other for many years. Ran is a good girl, you must not let her down in the future. Qin Yue was stunned for a moment, then smiled and assured. Don't worry, Sister Lu, I will protect Ran well. Of course, even if Liulu didn't say it, Qin Yue would protect Ran well. After all, this is his designated wife. How can I let others bully me? Liulu nodded. She looked at Qin Yue, and suddenly her mind moved. Then she said. By the way, classmate Qin Yue, are you interested in doing a live broadcast with me? Don't worry, it will only take up your weekend time at most, and the salary is negotiable. In fact, Liulu is not only a Hanfu enthusiast, but also a host. Of course, the main content of her live broadcast is Hanfu. She set up this live broadcast room in order to promote Hanfu. There will be live broadcasts every week to increase everyone's love for Hanfu. Seeing Qin Yue wearing Hanfu, he looked handsome. Liulu suddenly had this idea. If he could tie Qin Yue to his chariot, it would be so stable. It is even possible that a Hanfu craze will be set off. Chapter 25, Straight to the Heart. This. Liulu's proposal was something Qin Yue had not expected, and he could not help but be stunned for a moment. Indeed, her method is feasible. It is just a live broadcast, which is not a strenuous job. What's more, it takes his Saturday and Sunday time and does not interfere with his studies. However, Qin Yue doesn't really like this kind of life living in front of the camera. It's okay once or twice, but if it lasts for a long time, he will definitely resist it in his heart. Besides, wouldn't it be nice to spend more time with Ran? Thinking of this, he secretly glanced at Ran, then said with a smile. No, I may not be suitable for this kind of live broadcast life. Thank you for your kindness. Although Qin Yue's tone was very calm, Liulu could hear the determination in his words. Although she was a little disappointed, she couldn't persuade him anymore. After all, everyone has their own aspirations. Okay, in that case, I won't persuade you anymore. If you have any ideas, you can always find me. Just search Douyin Hanfu Liulu's ID. Thank you for what you did today. Liulu told Qin Yue an ID number but didn't ask for his contact information. After all, Ran was still beside her. She knew very well that even if she asked for it, Qin Yue would definitely not give it to her. Okay. Then we'll leave first. Have fun. Bye. Liulu and the others waved to Qin Yue and Ran and prepared to leave. Bye-bye. They both smiled and waved in the same manner. After Liulu and others left, Ran and Qin Yue started to play at the Hanfu exhibition. They participated in many small games in the morning and took a lot of photos. After finding a place to eat something at noon, the two started playing again in the afternoon. The smile on Ran's face never stopped for the whole day. Qin Yue, come quickly, take a picture for me. Oh, this is so beautiful. Qin Yue, please take a picture for me. Hey, what is this? I want to eat it. Qin Yue. Laughter filled the entire Hanfu exhibition. In the evening, Qin Yue and Ran changed back into their original clothes backstage and got on the bus to go back. Ran carried a Hanfu in her bag, and Qin Yue carried the other two sets in his bag. On the bus, Qin Yue sat next to the window, Ran sat next to him, and the two of them sat in the last row of the bus. How was it? Did you have fun today? Qin Yue turned his head and looked at Ran gently. Yeah, today was great, super happy. Ran grinned, his words filled with happiness. Today is truly the happiest day for her in the past decade. I visited my favorite Hanfu exhibition, won 2 sets of Hanfu in a competition, took a lot of photos with Qin Yue, and played a lot of games. The most important thing is, the one accompanying her today is Qin Yue. Such a day was so perfect that Ran even had an idea that it would be great if time could be frozen, then it could be frozen on this day forever. Of course, this is impossible, but she will always remember this day because it is so perfect. The sunset in the evening was particularly beautiful. The whole street was covered with a layer of beautiful veil. The afterglow fell on Qin Yue and Ran. Everything looked so beautiful. Qin Yue, do you think we will be this happy in the future? Yes, there is still a lot of time in the future, I will make you happy every day. Qin Yue's gentle words revealed a firmness that made people unconsciously convinced. Yi Anran slowly leaned her head on Qin Yue, with a smile on her face. Well, I believe you, and you have to be happy every day. Well, as long as you are by my side, every day is so beautiful to me. Hey, I think so too. Little fool. At night, when the two of them arrived at the family compound, it was almost 7:30 and it was almost dark. Downstairs at Yi Anran's house. Qin Yue, take these 2 sets of hanfu back first. I'm afraid my mother will know that I went to the hanfu exhibition today. If Yi Anran took the 2 sets of hanfu back directly, she would definitely be questioned, and then she would not be able to hide the fact that she went to the hanfu exhibition with Qin Yue today. Qin Yue also knew her thoughts, nodded and said, Okay, I'll take it back and keep it. I'll bring it to you when you want to wear it. Good. Yi Anran said okay, then stood there clutching her clothes with her hands, and stammered, but didn't know what to say, with hesitation in her eyes. Ahem. When she finally mustered up the courage to speak, she suddenly heard a cough. Like a frightened kitten, Yi Anran was frightened by the cough. She blushed and lowered her head and hid behind Qin Yue. Qin Yue raised his head and saw a middle-aged man who was over 1.8 meters tall and had a sturdy build, and a face that looked intimidating without even getting angry. Yi, Uncle Yi. With the help of the dim light, Qin Yue finally saw the face of the person who came. It was Yi Anran's father, Yi Shuawu. Hearing Qin Yue say these 2 words, Yi Anran also poked his head out from behind Qin Yue, his dark eyes carefully looking at the situation outside. Oh my god, it's really my dad. How could he be here? Yi Anran glanced at Qin Yue, then glanced at Yi Anran who was hiding behind him. For some reason, he suddenly felt a little unhappy. He had just got off work today when he saw 2 young people, a boy and a girl, talking sweetly downstairs from his house. Originally he thought it was quite interesting. Isn't that how young people fall in love? He remembered that he had hooked up with Yi Anran's mother in the same way. However, when he walked in with interest, he found that the girl was his daughter, and Yi Anran suddenly felt a tightness in his chest. There's a sentence I don't know whether I should say it or not. Where the hell did this young man come from who dares to seduce my daughter? Tired of living? Let's go to the police station. But when he looked more carefully, he realized that the boy was Qin Yue. Yi Shuawu suddenly felt like he had an indescribable pain. It's impossible for him to take Qin Yue away, otherwise Qin Guanqin would have to fight him to the death, right? But in front of his juniors, he didn't know what to say, but there was something wrong with the way he looked at Qin Yue. Well, where were you 2 doing? Why are you back so late? Yi Shuawu's calm voice broke the silence. Yi Anran rushed out from behind Qin Yue, tidied up her hair in a hurry, and said in a panic. Dad, we didn't do anything. We just went out shopping during the day and just came back. Yes, Uncle Yi, Anran and I just came back from shopping. Qin Yue grinned, and his honest smile pierced Yi Shuawu's heart. Chapter 26 It hurts, Mom. I don't know why, but Yi Shuawu always feels like someone is taking advantage of his own garden. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. Even if that person is Qin Yue. It's too late to go shopping. Come back with me. Your mother should be ready for dinner. Oh, by the way, Qin Yue, your aunt you made braised pork today, so it's a good opportunity for us to go up and try it together. Are this? Qin Yue and Yi Anran looked at each other, then looked at the bag in their hands. If they took this thing to Yi Anran's house, wouldn't it be exposed? Although Qin Yue really wanted to eat braised pork, he couldn't sell Yi Anran out just for a stew of meat. That's not appropriate. So, he thought about it and directly refused. No. Uncle, it's getting late. If I go back late, my mom will definitely scold me. I have to go back first. That's fine too. Let's come to Uncle Song Yi's house for dinner some other day and have a couple of drinks. Okay Uncle Yi, I'll be leaving first. Bye. After saying that, Qin Yue held the bag containing the hanfu in his left hand, waved goodbye to the 2 of them, and winked at Yi Anran imperceptibly before leaving. Yi Anran also breathed a sigh of relief. The hanfu in Qin Yue's hand was a time bomb. If his mother found out, she was afraid that she would never wear hanfu again. Yi Shuawu glanced at the direction Qin Yue left, then looked at Yi Anran who was somewhat reluctant to leave, took a deep breath and said, "Anran, what were you doing with Qin Yue just now? You weren't doing anything weird, were you?" "Huh? Strange things. What the hell?" Yanran shook her head hurriedly like a rattle, her face blushing as she said, "Dad, what are you talking about? Qin Yue and I have nothing, don't let your imagination run wild." After hearing Yanran's explanation, Yishuawu was temporarily relieved. Based on his many years of experience, he knew that Yanran was not lying. Fortunately. It seems that I really misunderstood." The slight dissatisfaction in Yishuawu's heart instantly disappeared, and he smiled with a doting look. "Dad, I'm not imagining anything. I'm just asking casually." Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's go upstairs and eat. We're tired after playing all day." "Good." Yanran followed his father up the stairs. "Mom, I'm back." Qin Yue opened the door, put the key on the table at the door, and walked in carrying the bag. Li Xiaoli was cooking. She heard Qin Yue's voice and stuck her head out. Seeing that he was holding a bag, she asked, "You're back. What's in your bag? Why is it so bulging?" Qin Yue casually explained, "I won a small prize in the shopping mall this afternoon by answering a question." "Mom, is the meal ready? Your son is starving." Okay, your dad has to go out for a social event tonight and won't be back. The food will be ready soon. Go wash your hands and get ready to eat." "Okay." Qin Yue grinned, hurried back to the room to put away the 2 sets of hanfu, and then went to wash his hands. Not long after, my mother's meal was ready. After Qin Yue washed his hands, he went to the kitchen to serve the dishes. "Mom, why didn't Dad come back for dinner today?" Qin Yue took a bite of rice and spoke vaguely. "As far as I can remember, my father rarely stayed out for meals at home, and he rarely had social events." Li Xiaoli shook her head and said, "I don't know. Your dad just called me and said that he had an unavoidable social engagement today and would not be home for dinner. I haven't had time to ask for the details yet. TSK, a social engagement that can't be turned down." In Qin Yue's memory, Dad has never had any social engagements that he couldn't refuse. Even if he did, he would explain it clearly to Mom. It's impossible to say it vaguely like today. Could it be that? "Mom, my dad is a section chief, there is no social event he can't refuse, could he be going to see his first love?" As a son, Qin Yue stabbed his father without any hesitation. Moreover, this stab is quite painful. Sure enough, Li Xiaoli frowned when she heard Qin Yue's words. Yes, Qin Guangqing is just a small section chief. He usually works from 9 to 5. There is no social engagement that he cannot refuse. Moreover, the tone he just used. It seems that something is wrong. Could it be that he really went to see his first love as Qin Yue said? That's not right. Wasn't he his first love? Where is there anyone else? Then, she saw Qin Yue who was trying to hold back his laughter, and she immediately understood that this kid was teasing his mother. "Qin Yue, are you itching for trouble again? You even dare to fool your mother. There's no meal for tomorrow, so you have to make it yourself." "Are this?" Qin Yue was confused. It was just a joke. He had already ruined tomorrow's meal. Was it really that serious? "Mom, you can't be like this. I was just joking. Calm down. My dad is just out for a social event. Maybe he'll get a promotion and a raise. Don't you agree?" Qin Yue quickly said with a flattering look on his face. Li Xiaoli waved her hand in disdain and said, Okay, I don't want to tell you, you'll know when your dad comes back. By the way, how was your time with Anran today?" When Yanran was mentioned, Li Xiaoli's face became obviously happier, which was completely different from how she looked at Qin Yue just now. Qin Yue took a mouthful of rice, chewed it for a few times and said, "It was fun." "That's fine. If anything happens, remember to give in to Anran. She is a girl after all." "Oh Tilda, I understand, mother." Qin Yue replied reluctantly. After finishing the meal, in order to have a meal for the next day, Qin Yue volunteered to wash the dishes, which made Li Xiaoli feel a little less angry. However, she was still a little worried about Qin Guangqing. "What's the matter? Why don't you go home for dinner?" Soon, Qin Yue finished washing the dishes and saw his mother still sitting on the sofa in a daze. He walked over, put his hand on his mother's shoulder and gently pressed it up, smiling and saying, "Mom, don't worry about my dad. Don't you know what kind of person he is? It must be about work. I was just joking with you." Li Xiaoli looked up at her son, and then she thought, it's true, after so many ups and downs over the years, he is still thinking about these trivial things. She couldn't help but feel funny. But it seems like this guy started this. I didn't think much of it in the first place. It was obviously this guy who deliberately reminded me. When she thought of this, Li Xiaoli instantly became furious. Okay, please stay away from me. I get angry when I see you. Are this? Oh. Qin Yue, I am your son, you hurt my heart so much, woo woo. Oh, har. Li Xiaoli glanced at him and then ignored him. Qin Yue. It hurts, Mom. Chapter 27. Dad is getting promoted. After a while, Qin Yue's father hadn't come back yet, so he went to take a bath first. Qin Yue, please turn down the volume when you run the bath water. Also, don't play music when you take a shower. It gives me a headache. Well, you're in a bad mood and you're picking on me. What have I done to provoke me? Damn. Qin Yue, uncomfortable. The key point is that Qin Yue didn't dare to refute what his mother said. Otherwise, there will be no food for tomorrow. Although Qin Yue also wanted to be tough, he thought about it and decided to give up. Tomorrow's meal was obviously more important. Woo, I enjoyed it. Boom. Qin Yue and Li Xiaoli were sitting on the sofa watching TV when they suddenly heard a knock on the door. Listen, Mom, this must be my dad coming back. You knew it was your dad who came back, but you didn't open the door. Qin Yue. I was speechless when I heard this. Hey, I'll go now. Humble again +1. Sure enough, as soon as Qin Yue opened the door, he saw Qin Guanqing with a smile on his face. Dad, you're finally back. My mom has been waiting for you for a long time. If you don't come back, she will definitely go looking for you with a knife in hand. Qin Guanqing walked in with a smile, then closed the door, changed his shoes and sat on the sofa. Facing the gaze of his wife and children, he smiled and said, I did have something urgent today, so it was not convenient to say more at that time. Urgent matter? Looking at his father's smiling face, Qin Yue asked uncertainly. Dad, you're not going to get a promotion, are you? He is smiling so happily, either his love life is booming or he has been lucky enough to get promoted. Hearing this, Li Xiaoli also became interested and looked at him with curiosity. Har, yes, the leader above talked to me today, and that should be what he meant. Wow, it's true. You know, his father Qin Guanqing has been in the position of section chief for nearly 10 years. Unexpectedly, he would be promoted today. It was really an unexpected surprise. But this is normal. After all, Qin Guanqing has always worked diligently in this position, has never accepted any bribes, and has always been adhering to the idea of serving the people. So his promotion was also expected. Li Xiaoli then said, Lao Qin, you are the section chief now, so what level will you be after the promotion? Li Xiaoli didn't know much about Qin Guanqing's work, so she asked casually. Deputy Director. Qin Guanqing thought for a moment and replied. Deputy Director. Although Subei City is only a prefecture-level city, the rank of Deputy Director is not low. Yi Anran's father, Yi Shuewu, is the director of the Zhejiang District Public Security Bureau in northern Jiangsu Province, and his position is also at the deputy division level. In other words, after Qin Guanqing's promotion, his rank was the same as Yi Shuewu's, which was equivalent to the rank of district director. One can imagine how valuable this deputy director's position is, and the department Qin Guanqing works in is not a low-paying job. When will your appointment be announced? Li Xiaoli said. Qin Guanqing thought for a moment, then said. I think we should have the result by next Monday. Okay, when the results come out, we'll have a good reunion with Juping and her family. It just so happens that our two families haven't been together for a long time. Li Xiaoli was also a little excited, so she took advantage of Qin Guanqing's upcoming promotion to propose a good reunion with Yi Anran and her family. Sure, no problem. Qin Guanqing had no objection. He and Yi Shuewu had been best friends since childhood. They were very close and their friendship was extraordinary. The family chatted for a while, and they were all more or less excited, but Qin Guangcheng was relatively calm about the promotion. He cared more about his wife and son. As long as they were happy, he would not mind being a section chief for the rest of his life. On this side, Qin Yue's family was at peace, but the news about him on the internet was already making a big fuss. Today, when Qin Yue and Yi Anran were answering questions with Mirashita Xingzi, someone actually took a full video. From the beginning of the quick response to the championship to the flying flower order, everything was recorded in full by a stranger. When this video was uploaded to the internet, it became a huge hit within just 2 hours. Why? Because it is so wonderful. And the content is very topical. For example, some titles read: Shock. A high school couple fights a Japanese girl. If you don't believe it, don't read it. What a Chinese man and a Japanese woman have to say. Shocked, such a scene appeared in the poetry competition. And when people clicked on this video, they were shocked again. Because Qin Yue and Mirashita Xingzi's flying flower order was so wonderful, it was simply breathtaking. The two of them played the flying flower order involving the word plum back and forth for more than 20 or 30 rounds. In addition, they were shocked by Qin Yue's appearance. He is so handsome. Although the image quality of the person in the photo is not particularly clear, the facial features are still captured perfectly. The Japanese girl had won 32 games in a row and was so arrogant that everyone present was already unhappy. A Japanese person dares to act so pretentiously when coming to China. Afterwards, Qin Yue displayed his profound knowledge through the Fei Hua order, not only proving that he was the real deal, but also slapping that Japanese girl in the face, making the people who watched it feel relieved. The reason why this video became so popular is thanks to the assistance of Xiao Chichi. When Qin Yue was competing with Mirashita Apricot, she was broadcasting live and the number of online viewers reached more than 200,000. In other words, these more than 200,000 people were all eyewitnesses. Therefore, this video started to become popular on Douyin and other major video networks. Then, the hot searches on Weibo also changed. 3 of the top 10 hot searches were about Qin Yue. Moreover, Xiao Chichi also became famous. Fuck, who is this little brother? Not only is he so handsome, but he is also so knowledgeable. This is too good to be true. That's right, I want to ask for a friend position. There's nothing special about it. I just want to get to know this little brother and make friends. Hey, I seem to know. I was in Chichi's live broadcast at that time. The boy seemed to be called Qin Yue. Yes, that's the name. Sister upstairs, do you know any other information? I know. This little brother already has a girlfriend, and she's super beautiful. Is this true? Does this little brother really have a girlfriend? Oh my god, what kind of girl can be worthy of him? Wow, my heart is broken. There are all kinds of comments about Qin Yue on the internet, and some people even set up a search team for Qin Yue, wanting to find Qin Yue himself. However, Qin Yue knew nothing about all this, and even if he knew, he wouldn't care. It doesn't matter to him whether it's popular or not, he doesn't rely on that to make a living anyway. At this time, he was preparing to fight in the canyon.